Hi, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome to our CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Tournament. I'm joined, as always, by Clark Kellogg. In the first half of the day today, we saw two number 12 teams prevail. We expect more of the same tonight?
The only lower seed that prevails tonight, Western Kentucky.
That's it?
That's it.
All right. You know I hold you to it, too. Coming up in just a few moments, down in Greenville, South Carolina, Charlotte will take on Chris Thomas and Notre Dame. Meanwhile, out in Albuquerque, number 11 Wyoming is about to battle number 6 Gonzaga and sharpshooting Dan Dickow. Shortly following those two tips, Holy Cross will have first crack at Kansas, the top seed in the Midwest, and North Carolina Wilmington will challenge Southern Cal, the 4th seed in the South. Then at about 10 p.m. Eastern, 4 more games come your way. Among the schools in action, defending national champion Duke, the top seed in the South, Arizona seeded 3rd in the West, and another 8-9 game, Western Kentucky against Stanford. 8 first-round games have already been contested today. Let's catch you up on some of it. Montana, Oregon in Sacramento. Luke Ridenour, 3-point from the top of the key. 18 points, 4 steals, 3 assists on the day.
Oregon goes inside to Christopherson. It's blocked, but Anthony Lever, right place, right time. Cash money from behind the three-point line.
Meanwhile, Missouri against Miami in Albuquerque. Missouri's Clarence Gilbert to Kareem Rush. Feeds Arthur Johnson for the dunk.
And Gilbert going to drop another dime, this time to Ricky Paulding. Open for the 3. Missouri cruised in impressive fashion.
Tulsa against Marquette in St. Louis. Greg Harrington driving the lane with the game tied at 69, running one-hander, 2 of his 12 points.
Marquette elects not to call a timeout, looking for the last-second shot to tie it or win it. Doesn't go, and Tulsa moves on.
Kent State, Oklahoma State in Greenville. Trevor Huffman drives and dishes to Antonio Gates.
Then Huffman wide open from behind the three-point line. Kent State holds on.
And then Demetric Shaw, three-pointer from the baseline, put the Golden Flashes up 55-48. They ended up winning. Let's take a look at all the winners in the first round. They include 2nd seed Oregon, Ohio State a winner, Missouri beat Miami, and Wake Forest over Pepperdine. Also winners in the East, Marquette losing to Tulsa, and Kentucky beating Valparaiso. And we will continue along the road to the Final Four after this word from your local station.
Baby Bob.
Do you prefer Dada? Dad seems more natural to me.
Premiere CBS Monday.
Hi, I'm Paul Vallis. You've seen the Blagojevich ads attacking my efforts to improve public education.
But newspapers say Rod Blagojevich plays fast and loose with politics and money. They accuse Blagojevich of money laundering, while the Tribune endorses Paul Vallis, saying he would govern with vision, honesty, and smarts.
Rod Blagojevich is what's wrong with politics in Illinois. He's a professional politician supported by the party bosses. I can't be bought, and I'll be nobody's governor but yours.
In his 8 years in the General Assembly, Rick Winkle has led the charge for tax relief. When gas prices soared, Rick Winkle helped us by eliminating the state sales tax. When property taxes skyrocketed, Rick championed property tax relief. Rick expanded the circuit breaker program for senior prescription relief. And Rick increased the state's funding for our schools by millions of dollars. Because families are Rick Winkle's #1 concern. Vote for Rick Winkle for state senator.
Hi, Bob Barker, General Manager of Hill Ford in Champaign. We just got in extra inventory of new vehicles from Ford, so that means we've got to move them out. F-150s, Super Duties, Escapes, Windstars, Explorers, 40 Mustangs, and more. You name it, we got it. An incredible selection of new Fords at prices so low we can't say on television. And remember, if you don't have a Hill Ford sticker on your car or truck, you paid too much.
Marvin Hill's a wonderful guy with a heart as pure as gold.
After 20 years as a practicing attorney, Judge A.G. Weber was recommended for office by a citizen screening committee. A unanimous Illinois Supreme Court agreed. Judge Weber has built a record of hard work and tough, no-nonsense application of the law.
I'm Judge A.G. Weber. It's been my privilege to serve you as your circuit judge. Everyone deserves fair and respectful treatment in court. With your support, I can continue to make sure that everyone does.
Vote Republican on March 19th for Judge A.G. Weber.
Wake up with us.
Tomorrow on 3 News This Morning.
The first round of play in the 2002 NCAA tournament about to resume at 4 sites around the country. Some of you will start tonight's primetime doubleheader with Wyoming against Gonzaga. Most of you will begin with Charlotte against Notre Dame, including those of you expecting to see the Holy Cross, Kansas matchup tipping at 7:50 Eastern, and others who are anticipating the UNC Wilmington, Southern California game. We will take you to that tip at 7:55 Eastern. Enjoy the games, everyone. March Madness 2002 continues here on CBS.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored
by Mazda MPV, the United States Army, Budweiser, and by United Airlines.
This afternoon, one of our advisors showed this dad how to protect his family and still retire at 55.
Ultra powerful. Ultra easy. Ultra powerful. Ultra easy. This is the concept behind new Lotramin Ultra, the new way to cure athlete's foot. Why is it ultra powerful? Because it's got a new prescription strength ingredient that nobody else has. Why is it ultra easy? Because you just have to use it once a day, and it keeps your athlete's foot free for 3 months. Ultra powerful, ultra easy. New once a day Lotramin Ultra.
Introducing Wendy's 4 new Garden Sensation salads with greener greens and more fresh vegetables than ever. Like our Mandarin chicken salad with everything from mandarin oranges and sliced almonds to sesame dressing. Spring mixed salad with grape tomatoes and pecans. Chicken BLT salad with hickory smoked bacon and honey mustard dressing. And our new Taco Supremo salad with salsa and sour cream. Wendy's 4 new Garden Sensations. We've raised the bar on salads.
Ray's daughter wants to know about the birds and the bees. What? Is he up for the challenge?
You don't think I can do it? I could do it.
You know what? You can be there and I'll explain it to the both of you.
And all new Raymond, CBS Monday.
Welcome, everyone, to Greenville, South Carolina, Game 3, South Region. It's the 9th-seeded Charlotte 49ers and the 8th-seeded Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Later tonight, number 1 seed Duke will play Winthrop, and out in Sacramento, Wilmington will take on USC, and 5 seed Indiana against 12 seed Utah. Lineups tonight for the 49ers: Curtis Nash, Cam Stevens, Jermaine Williams, Devon Brown, Joby Thomas, and for Notre Dame, Ryan Humphrey, David Graves, Harold Swanigan, and in the backcourt, the exciting freshman Chris Thomas and 6'6" junior Matt Carroll. Here's a look at Bobby Lutz in his 4th year from Harrisburg, North Carolina. 3rd NCAA trip in the last 4 years. And Mike Bray in his 2nd year, his 2nd NCAA appearance with Notre Dame. He spent a handful of years at the University of Delaware. Our officials tonight: Steve Welmer from the Big 12, Charles Range, and Terry Moore. With John Sunvold and Spencer Tillman, Kevin Harlan. And 8 to 9, John, going head-to-head.
Kevin, terrific matchup. And when you think and put all the pieces together on a basketball team, how about this? We've got power, Cam Stevens for Charlotte versus Ryan Humphrey. We have speed, Devon Brown versus Chris Thomas out front. We have shooters, Joby Thomas at Charlotte, Matt Carroll, David Graves for Notre Dame.
Swanigan missing inside, picked up by Cam Stevens. Brown takes it and gives off to Stevens. Rebound by Humphrey.
Both teams will want to push, try to find some early shots for their shooters.
Notre Dame from the Big East, Charlotte from Conference USA. Thomas to Brown. How about Notre Dame defensively, John?
Well, we'll match up. There's this little zone matchup, zone defense right now. Got to find the shooters. Brown will be one of them.
This is outside. Rebound pulled down by the senior Harold Swanigan.
Good pass.
Inside, they couldn't get it to go with Humphrey. Great defense. Damon Brown to Nash. Williams off to a good start. The block on one end does not score many points. 4 points, 4 rebounds a ball game. Makes his presence felt on the defensive end. Matt Carroll to Thomas. Graves once again to Humphrey, who's going to draw a lot of attention tonight from that Charlotte defense. 49ers man-to-man defensively. Carroll throws up an air ball. Picked up by Nash.
Nash at 6'6", can handle, likes to penetrate, can shoot it.
Thomas. And a rebound inside by Matt Carroll. Graves down low. Looks on Jermaine Williams. Carroll from 3.
Spacing, ball movement will find their shooters. Carroll and David Graves.
They look like a patient offense.
Yes, they do. Well, the key to their offense is freshman Chris Thomas at the point. We saw spectacular performance by freshman guard Maurice Williams this afternoon for Alabama. 33 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. Thomas will do similar things for this Fighting Irish ball club.
Nash tried to penetrate the lane and was fouled on the play. It goes on Matt Carroll, the junior, and he picks up his first. Let's take a look at Mike Gray. And they'll put Nash at the free throw line. 6'6" from Dallas, Texas. 49ers, the 9th seed. They were in the NCAA tournament last season, lost in the second round to Illinois.
First round matchup against Xavier, a win.
Play a very difficult,
Tennessee, sorry about that.
They play a very difficult schedule, John. RPI schedule strength number 15 in the country.
Will change defenses. Multiple defenses, multiple offensive sets. Bobby Lutz has opponents guessing. There's the freshman Thomas.
From Indianapolis, Indiana. And it gives Notre Dame a 6-3 lead. Stevens to Brown, and Graves on him for the Irish. Lobbing it inside. What a catch and a jam by Stevens.
Good back screen by Joby Thomas against his own defense on the defender down low. Freed that up.
Ryan Humphrey, who began his college career at Oklahoma, switches to the Irish and has had a brilliant career.
Powerful player. Averages a double-double, 19 points, nearly 11 rebounds a game.
We want to remind some of our viewers that we will be leaving this game in a few minutes to see another game of special interest in their local area. You'll be kept up to date on this Notre Dame Charlotte game as the night progresses.
Matchup zone, you've got to find Thomas in a hurry.
Graves draws the foul. That's his first for Notre Dame.
Let's go back against the zone defense. You see Thomas down low with the screen over the top. Damon Brown right on the money with the pass.
That remains one of the prettiest plays in basketball.
Well, gets his own defense. Some teams run it and some don't, but successful. Must communicate, though, if you're a defensive team. Any screens that are set, must call them out. Good hands by Graves.
Turnover by Charlotte. Here they go to Humphrey in the pass by Thomas, a little high.
Chris Thomas. Mike Gray has given this young man freedom to be good and freedom to be bad on occasions.
But he remains the heart and soul of the Irish.
Yes, he does. And he has had a fabulous year. 18 points, 8 assists a ball game. Big East Rookie of the Year.
Former Mr. Basketball in the state of Indiana, Thomas, who was faked out that time. Here's Nash on the baseline, handing to Jermaine Williams inside.
We already mentioned Nash at 6'6", likes to put it on the floor. Can create off the dribble. Almost a point forward type of player.
Carroll to Thomas. Joby Thomas defending. Humphrey again on that block. Leans into Williams. Outside to Carroll for 3.
Wow.
So Notre Dame began 0-3. They have gone 4 of 4 since. Carroll has knocked down 2 3-point shots.
Man-to-man defensively, Carroll the matchup against Thomas. Thomas likes to come off screens and does not need much room to shoot it.
And Joby Thomas for 3 at the other end. And plucked out of the air by Curtis Nash. And he gets a new shot clock for the 49ers. And puts up a 3 in the process. And ricochets out of bounds. It'll be Notre Dame's ball when we come back. Irish on top by 11-7 over Charlotte.
Greg Gumbel in New York. We'll keep you updated on what happens between the Fighting Irish and the 49ers. But those of you awaiting the tip in St. Louis, first-round action in the Midwest, the Crusaders of Holy Cross against the top-seeded Kansas Jayhawks will take you now to St. Louis and join Dick Enberg and Matt Gukas.
And thank you, Greg Gumbel. The Holy Cross Crusaders has the 16th seed, trying to do something no 16th seed has ever done, and that's win an opening round game. And it's a tough task against the top-scoring team in the nation, the Kansas Jayhawks. There you see the bracket in the Midwest. The winner of this to meet Stanford Western Kentucky. Victor, and we'll have that game for you later this evening. Well, it's been frustrating for Kansas. They've had great teams, #1 seeds in the 90s, but unable to move past the Sweet 16. It's been, well, in the words of Roy Williams a couple of years ago, devastating, frustrating not to go on. He's very hungry to win a national championship. Kansas fans think this could be the year.
You know, Dick, never has a #1 seed had to answer the question so much about all their past problems over the last 14 years. Nevertheless, they've led by 3 outstanding juniors. Drew Gooden, one of the best offensive rebounders in all of basketball, player of the year in the Big 12. His partner, Nick Collison, he shoots 60% from the field, and the catalyst, the glue man, the all-out hustle of Kirk Honrick. I think this is the best team with the most talent. They just have to go out and prove it now.
Holy Cross winning 10 of their last 12 games. They don't have the size. They don't have the scoring punch. But look back just a year ago in the first round. They lost to Kentucky, but by only 4 points.
They're clinging to the past, and they've got a good player in Tim Zatko, Jr. out of Naperville, Illinois. He can score inside and outside, but I just don't know if Tim is enough. And even if the rest of the Crusaders are enough to do any damage to the Kansas Jayhawks.
Ralph Willard, the head coach at Holy Cross, returning to his alma mater. He was the captain of the Crusaders back in 1967. Here's his starting lineup. They're small in the backcourt with Zatko and Lufkin, a freshman, giving them size inside. But then Wilson, Saravalli, and Meade, all 6'2" or shorter. Roy Williams in his 14th year. He's 51 now. Dean Smith was 51 when he won his first national title at North Carolina. And of course, they worked together at Chapel Hill so many years. His starting lineup, averaging 92 points a game. Drew Gooden, the All-America at 1 forward. Collison, big and strong. Heinrich, a tough outside shooter, as is Jeff Boschee. And Aaron Miles, as a freshman, has had an excellent year protecting the ball. Let's go to Armin Katayan.
Thank you, Dick. You know, some teams that have losses like Kansas did in the Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game would have let it go, but not Roy Williams. He told us yesterday he broke that game down with his staff to about 20 to 25 plays, and what came out of it is that Kansas had come out early and made mistakes, led to a sense of panic, led to some bad shots. He said he worked his team tail off in practice this week, and if what we saw yesterday in practice is any indication, they're certainly ready to play this game. One note on an injury. Keep an eye on the left ankle of senior guard Jeff Boschee. He turned it on Tuesday in the last practice in Lawrence. They're going to be cautious with him tonight. Back to you.
All right, Armin. Of course, the key for Boschee, as we look at the officials, Donato, Maxwell, and Cartmel, is will he go up with a balanced leap on his jump shot, which is deadly when on. In purple, Holy Cross. Way back when, in 1947, the NCAA champions. Guys named Mulaney and Cousy were on that team. Kansas, twice a national champion. Look at them move the ball inside. Assist from Gooden. Basket by Collison.
Well, the interior passing, those two big men, plus their all-around talent, it's going to be very difficult for Holy Cross to handle. I think Ralph Willard would prefer that he could keep the rest of the Kansas players on the perimeter and give up that outside shot. Ralph was telling us yesterday at practice he was kind of hoping that Kansas would have beaten Oklahoma. He's got a tiger by the tail here tonight.
He figured if they had won that game and came in here super confident, as well they should be. And there's the steal by Boshi, the quick hands of the Kansas defense. They'll pass ahead to Miles. And Miles loses it. Brian Wilson takes it away. And here comes Jave Meade. Wilson, who had the 4 free throws to win the tournament against American University, sets up Zatko. And Zatko's first shot is on the money, and the game is tied at 2.
Now your transition defense better be ready against Kansas. They push the ball as well as, if not better, than any team in the country.
Lufkin with a block as he denied Heinrich. Saravalli, a Canadian. Lufkin, the freshman. Nice little move to get open, and Collison rebounds quickly ahead. Heinrich. He was 0 for 10 against Oklahoma. Jayhawk fans just can't believe that. Boshi not there, but Collison, and he has it stripped away by Meade. Ralph Willard wants his team to try to use up as much of that 35 as they can.
I'll take that. That's the sure, because they have to take open shots when they come, but you know, their scores are like 62 to 59, that type of thing, so you know what their philosophy is. On the other hand, you see what Kansas' philosophy is in scoring 92 points a game.
Roy Williams makes no mistake about it. He loves to run. The freshman, Nate Lufkin, 6'11", out of Austin, Texas, gives Holy Cross an early lead.
No, he doesn't look intimidated at all. Patriot League player of the, I should say, freshman player of the year.
The lob to Gooden, and the All-America has his first basket.
Boy, they make it look awful easy, and when you can't get up and put pressure on the ball, those passes are easy.
Meade with Miles on defense, the freshman. Zatko moving into the lane. Rebound, Collison. That's 3 rebounds already for Nick Collison. Gooden twisting free and gives Kansas a 6-4 advantage. Leading rebounder, leading scorer in the Big 12. Out of the Oakland area, Richmond, California. Drew Gooden. Down goes Lufkin, and there's the steal by Miles. And he is fouled. Jave Meade couldn't stop him.
Take a look at Drew Gooden off the ball. Nobody guarding him here. You would think you'd find one of the top players in the country and at least get a hand on him. And then there he is again, just breaking free as he has a couple of the Holy Cross Crusaders in a bit of a spin cycle there, trying to locate him, but he's just so quick and so active around the hoop.
Aaron Miles, the freshman point guard from Portland, Oregon, the three-point play. It's a 7-0 run now for Kansas to lead 9-4. Saravalli free for the 3. And Miles can't handle it. Wilson. Zatko, and Gooden rebounds at 6'10". He brings it up court. Stops and throws it away. Heinrich was open for the 3 in the corner.
You're not going to see too many players in college basketball to do what Drew Gooden just did. Snap that rebound off, keep it high underneath the basket, and turn and then push himself. Head up all the way, ready to make whatever play is called for.
He'll get some votes for the Wooden Award as the National Player of the Year. He and Jason Williams considered the 2 favorites. Saravalli inside, unable to score as he hits the deck. And here comes Miles for Kansas. Patrick Wortley in the game for the first time, easily spotted with those elbow pads as Boshi hits his first shot. Jeff Boshi makes it 11-4. That's 9 unanswered points by Kansas.
For one of the rare times that Kansas had an unbalanced floor. Usually they have it balanced beautifully, but Boshi, just with his individual talent, and keep in mind he's playing on a very sore ankle, just makes a one-on-one play.
Aaron Miles with a foul. We have a timeout. 15:43 remaining in the opening half.
Your duty today is personal courage.
Biggest fear is climbing down. Like a scary thing for me.
Today, Richard climbs Victory Tower. Once you get to the top, the view, breathtaking. Especially if you're terrified of heights. Log on and see if courage conquers fear. Only at GoArmy.com.
Introducing the Isuzu Axiom. It says sexy city style. It has a V6 with 230 horses. Giddy up. Leather trim seats, smooth and supple. Plenty of cargo space, too. And America's longest and sexiest warranty. The Isuzu Axiom. You want one, don't you?
Now get 0% financing for up to 5 years or $3,000 cash back.
Greg, this one you gotta see. Oh. That's Leslie's first bath. Look at that little tushy.
That's her little tushy, all right. That cute little tushy that belongs to such an attractive, beautiful woman. Because it's grown up into something else. Nice, big, round tushy. You know, have you seen it? Have you seen it lately? You know. Is dinner coming soon, or is it?
See one man's dream to build a sandwich empire.
Possible name for Italian sub? The Hammy Aiello.
An all-new King of Queens, CBS Monday.
Roy Williams' team, #1 in the nation, so losing to Oklahoma in the Big 12 tournament finals. Duke now #1, but seeded #1 is Kansas here in the Midwest, and showing their strength here with a 9-0 run, and with just a little over 4 minutes gone, opening an 11-4 lead.
And Dick, Kansas is known for their huge runs, the big spurt, where they could blow a game away. I don't know if we're in the middle of it right now. We're awful early.
A good double team thrown at Jave Meade, and he's forced to call a timeout.
Days go by and still I think of you. Days when I couldn't live my life without you. Without you.
Carolina born and raised, played his high school ball outside of Asheville, North Carolina, and Biltmore. Roy Williams in his 14th year. How time has flown when you're winning all those games. Not the big one.
No, I don't think there's any way that Roy Williams wanted to lose that last game against Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship. However, coming into the tournament, I'm sure he got a lot of good days of practice where he had the attention of the players to clean up a lot of the slippage that developed while Kansas was winning all those games.
Junior Brian Wilson with a tray to make it 11-7. Ooh, a near turnover on the pass. Miles inside, no whistle. Wilson's long pass to Jave Meade, and a foul as Heinrich couldn't stop him. Great effort by Jave Meade, the 6'1" sophomore from Queensbridge, New York.
Well, take a look at this. Miles out of control, trying to just draw a foul there. In no way is Kirk Heinrich just going to give up on this play. In there to challenge. And, of course, if you're going to challenge that play, you want to make sure that the offensive player doesn't get a layup. So I think we've seen a mistake by a Kansas player. First time tonight, Dick. Well,
they are rare.
Aaron Miles a little out of control on the play before. 2 mistakes.
3-point play for Jave Meade, and the Crusaders now with 5 unanswered points to pull within 1. Number 5, Keith Langford, a freshman from Fort Worth, Texas, in the game for the first time. Gooden Throws to Simeon. Simeon tips in his own missed shot. Another freshman. He's 6'9", a powerhouse from Leavenworth, Kansas. Simeon with his first basket.
Another one of those big players with the sculpted body. Actually, that pass from Drew Gooden was a tough one to handle, and a terrific catch by Simeon.
Gooden drawing Zatko defensively. Heinrich on Meade. And they find the open man, but Wilson passes up the three. Saravalli will fire the three and hit it. And he's fouled by Boshi. Chance for a rare 4-point play.
And the Holy Cross Crusaders feeling good about themselves right now. And why not? They moved the ball very well on this sequence. And when you do that, and it's tough to do against Kansas because they're challenging passes, and Saravalli very happy with himself.
He has dual citizenship. His parents are both born. Of course, he lives in Canada, Niagara Falls area, and that gives Holy Cross their first lead of the game at 14-13. Simeon hits the 7-footer, and it's 15-14 Kansas.
Good idea now by Holy Cross to slow the tempo down, use a lot of the shot clock.
Wordy to Zatko, and it won't go down. Out of bounds, last touch by Kansas.
As I was going to say, Dick, unless you get a good shot, a good look at a 15, 16-foot jump shot. Holy Cross does not look or take many three-point shots. So if you get a good open jumper or a layup opportunity, take it. Other than that, milk the clock.
Saravalli well off the mark and Gooden rebounds. Kansas and White leading by 1, 15-14. Inside off the foot of Langford, the dribbler. Finally, Gooden from the corner. It won't fall, and Wordy with a rebound.
Good move, ball movement by Kansas, but not resulting really in a very high percentage shot. They're certainly capable of getting much better than the standstill jump shot from Gooden.
Meade. Not a backcourt violation. It was touched by Langford before it hit the center line. It was touched, but I guess yeah, they're going to have to correct here because they went back to a 35-second shot clock, and they're going to have to correct that.
That should probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 or 12 seconds left on the shot clock because there was no possession on the part of Kansas. Now keep an eye on the shot clock over here. And again,
14, 13. See where they, yeah, at 12. So there should be 12 seconds remaining.
But they're going to give him 28. It's close.
Saravalli out. First appearance, number 20, Guillermo Sanchez, 6-footer, a senior from Washington Heights, New York, a guy that was a walk-on. He's just worked and worked and worked and now become a contributor to this Crusader cause. This is he, Sanchez. Boshi on him. Inside, open, and scoring is Patrick Werty, the junior from Poughkeepsie, New York. Holy Cross back in front by 1, surprisingly at the 12:30 mark. .12-4 run for Holy Cross. A whistle and traveling the call against Collison of Kansas.
Watch big Patrick Werty, the junior out of Poughkeepsie, work inside. He was hurt in the early part of the season when Holy Cross got off to an 8-12 start, and they feel the reason for that was the injury to Werty. Since he's been back, a 10-2 finish.
He's been plagued with staph infections, a huge bruised hip, missed 4 games. Zatko from the side overshoots the mark, and a nice save by Wilson, or did he? No, it goes into the backcourt. Ball to Kansas. Check out the game centers for in-depth play-by-play. Each tournament game at cbs.sportsline.com or on American Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Dick Enberg, Matt Gukas at center court here at the Edward Jones Dome, renamed the Big Dome, the home of the St. Louis Rams, nearby the Mississippi River and the famed arch of St. Louis, the gateway to the west. Holy Cross, the 16th seed, leading Kansas at the moment with 8 minutes played, 16-15. Collison. Oh boy, he had those problems against Oklahoma last Sunday.
All of a sudden, Holy Cross defense starting to settle in right now, getting used to the timing and the ball movement, the speed and quickness of Kansas, and it's tough for teams that see them all the time to get used to it.
Nice pass inside to Zatko, and he draws the foul on Simeon. Well, you can see this Ralph Wilderness has this team well coached. Moving the ball well, making intelligent decisions.
And a good idea to find Tim Zatko. He is their best player, can go outside, also inside as well. And Kansas having problems catching up to the ball movement of Holy Cross.
Zatko, just a junior's dad, played 4 years of football at Notre Dame, was on the '74 national champions. Averaging on under 14 a game. He has 4 tonight, and Holy Cross by 3.
Thomasville is now at the Home Depot.
Thomasville? Yeah, you got my attention.
Thomasville craftsmanship, Thomasville quality.
It's classy, it's American, it's elegant.
And now for your kitchen or bath, Thomasville cabinetry.
Kitchen cabinets?
Now for kitchens, now for baths.
Thomasville is great stuff.
And now, no payments until January 2003 with your Home Depot consumer credit card.
Home Depot makes beautiful things affordable.
Thomasville, only at the Home Depot.
Take all the time you want, folks.
We'll take this one in red.
Beautiful choice, sir.
No, black.
Black. That's actually my favorite color.
Red. Definitely red.
When software lets you quickly give customers what they want, that's one degree of separation. That's business with .NET from Microsoft.
Tomorrow.
Manny!
Thrill.
Back scratcher!
To the chill. Ice Age, rated PG. Tomorrow, only in theaters.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Driving home after a tough day and now some jerk cuts you off? What do? Slow down. Stay cool and keep control. CBS cares.
Back in St. Louis, a look at our game summary, and what it doesn't show, although those numbers are all pretty even, is after falling behind by 7 early, Holy Cross on a nice little 14-4 run.
Well, Dick, it was a couple of turnovers early by Holy Cross, gave up some easy things, but now they kind of have gauged it, almost like gauging an old Nolan Ryan fastball. Getting back on defense has been the key, though, for Holy Cross to have this 3-point lead.
Collison finally to Miles. An interesting lineup out there for Roy Williams. Gooden is All-American out in there. Stepping out of bounds was Aaron Miles. Here in St. Louis, Roy Williams, number 1 seeded Kansas Jayhawks with a little challenge from the 16th seed Holy Cross, who have said we're ready to play as we were last year against Kansas after falling behind 11-4. Holy Cross now leads by 3 with the ball. Dick Hendrick with Matt Gukas here at the Edward Jones Dome.
Kansas came out like a house of fire, went on a 9-0 run. A couple of timeouts by Ralph Willer, settled things down, and all of a sudden Holy Cross looks like a competent basketball team right now. They know they have a very formidable opponent, however.
Roy Williams has brought back in his 2 All-Stars, Heinrich and Gooden. Rebound, and unable to put it back is Patrick Werty. But he draws the foul. Collison's first. the line is Patrick Werty. This is a very difficult school academically. You need 1,100 or better even to get considered. Werty had a 1420 on his SATs, and he gets A+ on that free throw.
In freshman Nate Lufkin and junior Patrick Werty, Holy Cross has some good size, and they got another player waiting in the wings coming next year at 7'6".
Nick Fingleton, who's transferred from North Carolina. 20-15, and Holy Cross down by 7, now up by 5. Boshi for 3, and Kansas needed that. Jeff Boshi has 5.
He's vying to be the most prolific three-point shooter in Big 12 history. Shoots it almost 47% from beyond the arc.
Jave Meade. He sets up Sanchez. Werty and Collison, who touched it last. Collison. Holy Cross, Worcester, Massachusetts, one of the small schools in terms of enrollment, only 2,700. 18-14, but they won 10 of their last 12. 1947 national champions, and they won the NIT in 1954. And the foul will be on Werty of Holy Cross, his first.
Well, you mentioned Joe Mulaney was on that 47 championship team, the old coach of Providence. Also, I think Bob Cousy at that time was a freshman on that team.
And then later in 54, the NIT champions, I think Tom Heinzen was a freshman on that club.
And Togo Palazzi was somewhere.
Oh, you couldn't wait to see Togo Palazzi.
Somewhere in that area.
Boshi for another long three. 2 in a row, and Kansas reclaims a lead at 21-20. And that has the Jayhawk fans, and this is a partisan crowd on their feet. Meade's miss. Long throw to Heinrich. 2-on-1. Heinrich pulls up. Oh, he continues to be cold, Heinrich. 0 for 10 against Oklahoma. And tonight, Heinrich is 0 for 2.
And what Kirk Heinrich has to do instead of just continue to settle for jump shots is find a way to get a couple of layups, get a couple of free throws, and that the rim will get a little larger for him right now. It looks like he's aiming and measuring that jump shot.
Tim Zatko over Gooden, and Gooden rebounds. Miles to Boshi. Gooden. And hustling to get the rebound, Ryan Saravalli of Holy Cross, and he'll slow it up. 21-20 Kansas, 8:45 left in the opening half.
A big key for Holy Cross hanging in this game is that they're doing a good job on the boards, getting back on defense. And other than Jeff Boshi getting some of the Jayhawks to miss a couple of shots and holding them to 1 shot.
Speaking of holding, Boshi called for the foul. His second coming up after your local news tonight. Stay tuned for Dave. David Letterman will have the U.S. Airmen deliver the top 10 cool things about being in the Air Force, plus comedian Andy Richter. CBS mailbag all tonight. Lots of laughs on Dave. 21-20 with 8.5 minutes remaining in this first half. Zatko helping out on the inbounds pass. Heinrich on him. That foul on Boshi was the 6th Kansas foul, and here's the 7th, and that'll send Holy Cross into the bonus. Only 2 fouls ticketed against Holy Cross in this first half.
Yeah, it's almost as if Kansas is getting impatient right now. You know, you come in as the #1 seed, playing 16. There's the urgency to jump out fast, get ahead, put the number 16 seed away. Well, it doesn't always work that way, and Holy Cross is certainly more than holding their own. So now Kansas trying to increase the pressure defensively to try to force some turnovers.
Misses the first end of a 1-and-1. Saravalli. Gooden passes up the 15, and then trying to jam his way in, picks up the foul. Appeared to be Lufkin, his first. Sends Drew Gooden to the line. Gooden, who's been in double figures, 58 of the last 60 games, the Big 12 Player of the Year, AP First Team All-America. He got 70 of the 72 votes, averaging over 20 a game and over 11 rebounds. There they are. plus shooting 51%, plus leading the team in steals with 62.
Well, what else is left for this player? He has absolutely been fabulous here, and it's been touch and go from time to time with Roy Williams, his coach, and it's been a trust factor that has had to develop over these years, and I think they're at that point right now because Drew Gooden would be the first one to admit that at times he's a little bit out of control on the court, makes a lot of mental mistakes, and Roy Williams a number of times had to yank him out of games.
Zatko challenged by Gooden, fights to get the rebound back and score. Oh, did he earn that? That's why he was the MVP of the conference tournament, the Patriot League. 6 points for Zatko, 23-22, and Zatko's basket ended an 8-0 run by Kansas. And we have a timeout. We're 7 minutes, 43 seconds from the intermission. Holy Cross hanging with #1 seed Kansas, a 1-point game.
A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS.
Rainbow Randolph is the king.
He once was rich. He once was famous. And he once was sane.
Casting the show with mental patients. I like that.
From the dark and demented mind of Danny DeVito, the director that brought you The War of the Roses and Throw Mama from the Train.
What's up?
Robin Williams, Edward Norton, Death to Smoochie. Rated R. Starts Friday, March 29th.
Get triple miles from participating airlines when you stay at any Choice hotel in the U.S. and the Caribbean. And you'll also get the chance to enter our 2 million mile giveaway. One lucky traveler will win 1 million miles, and 10 people will win 100,000 miles. Sounds like it's a good time to hit the road. For reservations, call 1-800-4CHOICE.
What are you guys doing in there? My office! Oh!
It has over 20 million customers nationwide. Works with nearly half the Fortune 1000 and provides the wireless network for BlackBerry and Palm. Bet you didn't know who's so big in business. Singular Wireless. What do you have to say?
Greg Gumbel, Clark Kellogg in New York. We'll get you back to the action in the Midwest between Holy Cross and Kansas in just a moment. But first, let's check in with Greenville, South Carolina, where Charlotte and Notre Dame are doing battle in the Irish with a 33-30 lead, thanks in part to a 10-2 run recently.
Well, both of these teams shoot the three-point shot a lot, and they shoot it well. It's been going back and forth, back and forth. I think this game could stay this way throughout because, again, both of these teams are aggressive, and they shoot the three-point shot extremely well.
You expect this from an 8-9 matchup, Clark, but this game has had 5 ties and 7 lead changes, which really tells you how close they are.
Playing out just like it looks on paper. Oh, nice transition hoop there. That's Ryan Humphrey, strong to the cup.
So Notre Dame's lead is now 35-31, and Charlotte coming in with an 18-11 mark. Notre Dame at 21-10, and they, at times, they seem to have had the upper hand, but then this thing goes back and forth.
Well, again, what will dictate how this game ends up being played is can one of these teams put together a spurt? If you shoot the three-point shot, you can put together runs as long as you defend. And if Notre Dame can do that, they can stretch it out. But Charlotte is a team, they get extra shots because they pound the glass, and then they also have the weapon of the three-point shot.
And I mentioned to you earlier that this is a team that looks like they force a lot of shots, although that one goes down, and it's a 2-point lead, 35-33.
in Sacramento. They are in a timeout. UNC Wilmington with a 1-point lead over the University of Southern California. This is another close game.
It really is, and I didn't expect it to be this close this early, but UNC Wilmington came out very aggressively, and we talked about USC's rebounding ability, but Wilmington is playing them even on the backboards right now and not turning the ball over against Southern Cal's pressure.
Speaking of tight games, how about the one taking place in the West in Albuquerque, where Wyoming and Gonzaga are just in a bit of a break here, and this game is also a 1-point difference.
These two teams are two of the best rebounding teams in the country. They have active big guys as well as outstanding. These teams, despite Gonzaga being a 6th seed and Wyoming being an 11th seed, these two teams are very, very similar and evenly matched.
One thing you do expect is Gonzaga to shoot the 3 very well, and they've done that so far.
That's one of the keys for them. And then what Dickow likes to do, Dan Dickow, the point guard for Gonzaga, likes to pick his spots. He scores 20 points a game, but he rarely forces the action. He has a real good sense of what his team needs and when they need it from him.
All right, Clark, meanwhile, let's get you back to St. Louis now. Midwest action, Holy Cross in Kansas, Dick Enberg and Matt Gukas.
Holy Cross in purple, the 16th seed, giving Kansas only one, a 26-22 game as Heinrich hits 1 out of 2 free throws for the Jayhawks. Kansas with a couple of runs, 9-0 and 8-0, but Holy Cross between those runs, 14 and 4 to stay in this game. They break the pressure, and Wilson pulls up for the banker and connects. 25-24 Kansas. 6 minutes to go in the half.
How about the poise, the control of Holy Cross facing that little trap and just executing beautifully to get the high percentage shot.
Gooden missing the shot, but in the scramble for the rebound, one of the Holy Cross players grabbing an arm. It appeared to be Jave Mead. No, it was Saravalli, and he has 2. Both teams now in the bonus, and that'll send Nick Collison to the line. Collison averaging 15.5 a game, the number 2 scorer for these Jayhawks out of Iowa Falls, Iowa. Played for his dad, Dave. As soon as his son left, Dave retired. He got to follow his kid. Makes sense to me.
You know, even though we're in the Midwest here and just a few hours from Lawrence, Kansas, maybe a little more than a few, but I sense that this crowd is pulling for the underdog. Holy Cross. How about that, Dick?
I think all the fans behind us now across the way. Those are the Kansas fans. As Collison misses the second, and Saravalli able to control. He's only 6 feet tall. 3-point lead for the Jayhawks. 5:45 left in the half. Inside, Wordy, and it's taken away, and then Wordy grabs Langford for the foul. Second on Wordy. Well, we've got a new show on Monday night on CBS. It's the Baby Bob, a little guy, and I guess some big secrets. Catch the premiere. It'll be Monday right after King of Queens here on CBS.
Well, big Patrick Wordy making the mistake of putting the ball on the floor. Of course, he had his eye on it as well. And actually a smart foul, even though he's going to send Keith Langford to the free throw line. It does stop a fast break opportunity for Kansas.
Langford hits the free throw, his first point. He has an interesting superstition. Whenever he has a bad game, he gets a new pair of shoes. That sounds a lot like my wife, Barbara. 28.
Does that anytime anybody has a bad game.
Anytime. What do they do with all those shoes? 29-24, Kansas by 5. Holy Cross now, after enjoying a lead of 5 points, needs a basket here, but way short as he pulled his shot was Wordy, and out of bounds to Kansas.
Kansas doing everything they can to up the pressure. Good ball, man-to-man pressure by Heinrich. Gooden coming up to set a trap. But Holy Cross seems very well prepared, knows it's coming, and then executes. The problem right now is putting the biscuit in the basket.
That was Saravalli reaching in to make the steal and forcing a foul from the Jayhawks. To be number 5, Keith Langford. That'll be number 2 on him. Winner of this game will meet the winner of the game to follow. That should be a terrific match. Western Kentucky, with an 18-game winning streak, goes against Stanford of the Pac-10.
Matchup of the two best centers in college basketball, Curtis Borchard and Chris Marcus.
Both 7-footers. That'll be a battle inside. Jave Meade has his 4th point, and there's a look at the Midwest bracket. On top, Kansas Holy Cross with the winner to meet Stanford or Western Kentucky.
And they're not just 7-footers. They're 7-footers that can do a lot of different things at both ends of the floor. Borchard, the more mobile of the two, mainly because Chris Marcus still coming back from that stress fracture in his ankle after missing 17 games in the middle of the season.
Meade able to race in and get the rebound, save it for another chance. Saravalli to Lumpkin. 5 minutes left in the half. Holy Cross with the ball, down by 4 to top seed Kansas. Gooden makes the defensive play. And then wrestle for the ball, and it's tied up. Arrow points to Holy Cross.
Big Nate Lufkin about 30 feet away from the basket, trying to make a pass. It's too long a distance, too much time for a quick, athletic guy like Drew Gooden to get around the front of his offensive man and break that play up.
I'm going to mop up the perspiration on the court. And we can check Holy Cross in the last 6-7 minutes. They've made only 2 of 12 shots from the floor. And yet stay within 4 of Kansas.
Kansas has been unable to mount one of those surges that they had earlier in the game on the 9-0 run. So that's a good sign for Holy Cross at this point.
Cave Meade and Heinrich, such an excellent defender. Pressure on the ball. Saravalli. Open way outside is Zatko, and Saravalli has another rebound. The little guy at 6 feet. He's doing a solid job on the boards. He's got 4 rebounds. Nice setup pass. Good fake, and unable to make the shot was Lufkin. But he draws the foul.
Holy Cross can't complain that they're not getting enough opportunities. Now, granted, they are working hard for them. Good ball movement, good execution, resulting in some open shots. Out hustling Kansas and a couple of times to long rebounds.
Drew Gooden's first foul. Lufkin, his first free throw too long.
Roy Williams has had a number of days now since that loss to Oklahoma. And I'm sure he let his team hear about a lot of different things. He's gearing up right now for halftime.
Lufkin averaging 7 points a game. He misses both free throws. First sets up the freshman, and he is blocked. Simeon unable to get the shot off, but gets the ball back. Fires again, short. Lufkin rebounds, and Simeon fouls him. And that'll be, I believe, the 10th team foul on Kansas in the double bonus. Second foul on Simeon.
A little bit of a defensive clinic there by a freshman, Nate Lufkin, out of Austin, Texas, playing big man defense just like you would put it on the board and drill it in practice, standing 2 hands straight up in the air, not committing the foul, challenging the shot, and consequently gets rewarded at the other end of the floor.
Double bonus for Lufkin, who missed his last 2. Holy Cross 7 for 11, as you can see, and Lufkin down the bottom of the well with that toss. 29-26 as Simeon and Gooden go out. We see for the first time Jeff Carey usually gets a couple of minutes in each half. Collison, Heinrich, Langford stay aboard.
Boy, Nick Collison, you have not said that word or that name very often tonight, Dick. He has to find a way to get involved in this basketball game. He's got to start moving and flashing to open areas just like that.
Tries to hit the glass with a spinner, does not, and here comes Holy Cross, down by only 2. A chance to tie or take the lead. Holy Cross has out-rebounded this Kansas team 18-16. That is a remarkable stat.
Well, they would say business as usual. During the season, they out-rebound their opponents by 6 a game.
From the deep corner, Brian Wilson unable to hit the 3, and Carey saves for Kansas. Boy, Heinrich pushes it into the offensive end, takes it all away and scores. Kirk Heinrich now with 5, and it's a 4-point Kansas lead.
I think he's pretty much forgotten about the jump shot for a while. He's going to try to find other ways to be an offensive force. The jumper has gone on an early vacation for Heinrich. Kansas won't be able to afford that down the road as the competition figures to get much tougher. Hey, we got a long way to go on this one, though.
Saravalli backs off, 12 seconds on the clock, and hits the bank. 31-29. Saravalli with a half dozen. Remarkable Holy Cross here in St. Louis, the 16th seed, within 2 of the top seed, Kansas Jayhawks, and the Crusaders with the ball and a chance for a tie, take the lead with a tray. Kansas just unable to shake this pesky Holy Cross team. Shorter, not as quick, not the firepower for Coach Ralph Willard, but his team tenacious. And Carlson just draws his second foul, and that sends Holy Cross to the line and a chance to tie.
There you see it, the field goal percentage. It was higher than that before for Kansas. They're starting to cool off quite a bit. And what a smart play that time by Ryan Saravalli. The big man stepped out. Jeff Carey, he just banged into him with Kansas in the penalty to get a couple of freebies.
Wardy returns to the lineup for Holy Cross along with Guillermo Sanchez, as both free throws connect for Ryan Saravalli. Look at him. He's fired. It's tied 31.
Thanks for the lab.
Jumped out?
I jumped out of the moving truck.
You're kidding.
At that point, it was like my decision was made. I'm out of here.
Life is best told over a great tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Oh, my love, I'm hungry for your touch.
Are you still?
Time goes by with the wink and the blink of an eye. No need to rest the ride.
Who can sign for a package when you're busy signing for lunch? Get a mailbox at Mailboxes Etc. and we'll help by receiving your UPS and FedEx packages. There's help in here, real help.
Take a wild ride with the #1 movie in America. Wow. The Time Machine is enormously entertaining.
Come a little closer. I don't bite.
A thrilling, heart-stopping adventure. The Time Machine. Rated PG-13. Now playing everywhere.
My dad taught me how to fly. I think I was 9 or 10, and there wasn't anything he didn't know from the ground up about airplanes. My dad said one time, everybody can be an example, but not always good, and I hope that I'm an example for these new pilots, and a good one. March 31st will be my 33rd anniversary. I wish I had another 33. My name is Larry Haynes. I'm a 747-400 captain for United Airlines.
They work hard, play hard, and die hard.
You got one chance, and if that doesn't work, well, enjoy the ride down.
The new series American Fighter Pilot launches March 29th.
And welcome back to St. Louis with the score tied at 31 and just over 2 minutes remaining. Dick Enberg with Matt Kukas. And this is what is so attractive about March Madness. You get the #1 seed in Kansas, a Holy Cross team. You say, how are they going to possibly stay with the Jayhawks? Here they are.
Dick, if anybody told me or anybody that Holy Cross would be shooting 32% in this first half and be tied at 31 with Kansas and be the more aggressive team basically throughout this whole first half.
Roy Williams battling on the bench to fire up his crew as they come across the timeline with freshman Aaron Miles with the ball. Crusaders defending it very well. Collison almost intercepted by Saravalli. Heinrich open, can't hit the 15-footer. Gets his own rebound. Loose ball, and it's collected by Guillermo Sanchez.
And it's the aggressive defense of Holy Cross forcing that turnover. They went to a little matchup zone, something a little bit different. They've shown it a couple of times in this first half.
And open underneath is number 45, Patrick Werty, and the junior were Poughkeepsie, averaging 9 a game, has 6, and Holy Cross is in the lead. And a foul. Jave Mead with his second. 1:31 left, and he worked for this, didn't he?
Well, Patrick Werty just getting himself in the middle of the floor. That's a big, wide body, and neither Collison or Drew Gooden able to move that big guy out of there. And, you know, all of a sudden, I think that Holy Cross is more than believing right now. They've got a notion.
Heinrich gets the free throw, has 6 points in this opening half. Needs this one to tie it at 33. Heinrich, like Collison, both Mr. Iowa basketball players, state champions, both played for their dads as coaches in high school. Quite a recruiting year to get Heinrich and Collison and Drew Gooden from the Bay Area, San Francisco, on the east side.
And for all the action we have had in this first half, this game is being basically played at the pace that Holy Cross wants it, somewhere in that low to mid-60s.
Good ball movement. Shot clock down to 11. Mead, Saravalli for 3. Werty with a rebound and an easy putback, and Holy Cross back in the lead, 35-33. Final minute. 8 points now for Werty. Boshi, long-range 3. That Heinrich, an East guy. Miles, the freshman, way off the mark. Heinrich inside, and he ties it up at 35. Uh-oh, he goes down on his ankle, and he is writhing in pain. Left ankle twisted as he maneuvered inside to make that shot. 9 points for him to lead all scorers, and such a valuable member of this Jayhawk team. Watch what happens.
Typical Kirk Heinrich type of play, just looking to some way to help out. Now, he has had ankle problems in the recent past.
Looks like he came down on his teammate Gooden's foot. Can't see it as he goes up there. Remarkable leaper at 6'3". He's up there with the big guys rebounding.
Just being quicker than everybody else to that open area. So now you've got Heinrich with what looks like a severe ankle situation. Jeff Boshi has an ankle problem as well, which he heard in practice a couple of days.
Can't put full weight on it at all as he tiptoes off on that left ankle. He'll get some ice on that. And I'm sure Armin Katayan will be on the case, and he'll get a full report as soon as that's available.
I'm a little surprised a couple of teammates or managers or whatever are not down there. Let's take another look at it here. It's the left ankle, and just comes down in a group of players.
With 33 seconds remaining in this first half, tied at 35, Holy Cross with the ball. And Kansas not only concerned about the fact that they just can't get away from this Crusader team on the scoreboard. Now, the distraction is how serious is the injury to Kirk Heinrich, their all-conference player.
And he is critical to any kind of success that Kansas expects to have in this tournament.
Wilson with 8 seconds. Wilson will take the shot and hit it. Brian Wilson gives the Crusaders a 2-point lead. 1 second, Gooden. And my, oh my, at the half, the score. Holy Cross 37, Kansas 35. Kansas has only been behind 4 times all year at the half and won but one of those 4 encounters. Let's go to Armin.
Coach, you said yesterday you didn't think you could play with Kansas. Well, what do you think so far?
Well, I thought if we didn't keep out of transition, we couldn't play with them. But we've done a good job keeping them out of transition. We just can't wear down. We're only playing 7 guys. We can't wear down in the second half.
You really look like you've out-hustled them, too.
Well, I don't know about that, but we kept them out of transition, and that's a key play in this team.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Nice thing about fatigue when you're playing as such an underdog, that adrenal glands really take over for you. End of the half, 37-35, Holy Cross. CBS exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship continues after this message and a word from your local station.
Betty! You made it to the reunion!
It's Jane.
Close enough. So what do you got there?
Well, that's a Kia Spectra. Just like your Toyota Corolla, except that it came standard with power windows and locks, a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty, and my Spectra was $2,700 less than yours.
Oh, yeah? Well, I took Buff Johnson to the prom.
You mean that, Buff Johnson?
Right now, get the Kia Spectra for $2,700 less than the Toyota Corolla.
Follow the NCAA tournament with live scores, stats, and analysis in the Game Center only at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
The Guardian, Tuesday on CBS. It's all here.
Want to get a great $6 restaurant burger without the restaurant? Introducing the $6 burger, only $3.95 at Hardee's.
My name is Rod Blagojevich. It's a different kind of name. But for all of Illinois, I'll be a different kind of governor.
Rod Blagojevich has always stood up for working families. His economic plan creates over 53,000 jobs, bringing private investment and high-tech jobs to every part of Illinois, helping areas too often ignored.
Opportunity won't be built on just casinos and prisons. Central Illinois is an untapped resource. With leadership, we can create jobs and opportunity.
So, all the kids here have to smoke.
That's the rule.
But it causes heart disease, emphysema.
We're not here for your theories, Doctor. Just tell us about your job.
Good question.
Yeah, that smoke, is it a smooth, rich flavor?
Kids, this is Mr. Dingham from the Dingham Tobacco Company.
Hi, kids. Great to be back. Yes, sir.
I heard cigarettes cause cancer or something.
Oh, come on. Would we sell something that causes cancer? You know, I love my job because I enjoy working with kids.
Halftime in St. Louis and Sacramento. Tight games in Greenville and Albuquerque. Clark Kellogg and I will bring you all the action coming right up.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half. Sponsored by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our studios here in New York for Singular at the Half. Greg Gumbel along with Clark Kellogg. There are so many tight games going on right now. Let's get to them. First of all, in St. Louis, Holy Cross leading the Kansas Jayhawks by 2, 37-35. Earlier in this game, Kansas was dominating underneath.
They really were, but you take a look at the numbers and offensive rebounds in favor of Holy Cross, and then the turnovers. Kansas with 4, Holy Cross. Kansas with 7, Holy Cross only with 4.
Heinrich to Gooden for the alley-oop right there.
And then Kansas's Aaron Miles going to step in the passing lane, take it away. He's going to score and get fouled. Kansas was up 5. And then Holy Cross's Ryan Saravalli, a rare 4-point play. He converted it. The Crusaders lead by 1.
Jeff Boschee, top of the key, will hit that 3. The Jayhawks had a 1-point lead, but at the break right now, Holy Cross, 16th seed in the Midwest, leads Kansas by a score of 37-35. Our other game at the break, UNC Wilmington, with a 37-28 lead, and the Trojans must be wondering what's going on.
I'm sure they are because they've been out-rebounded. You take a look, Brett Blizzard, he's not by himself, though. He leads them with 7. David Bluthenthal, we talked about him earlier, how he needs to play well, only 3 of 8 from the floor.
UNC Wilmington's Ed Williams will get the layup and the foul on the fast break. The free throw gave the Seahawks an early 3-point lead.
But then Jerry Dupree in transition finds Sam Clancy for an easy one. It was back and forth early on. Ed Williams going to find, gets the pass down low, and he's throwing it down with authority.
And the number 13 seed in the South, UNC Wilmington, with a 37-28 lead. Games in action right now. First round in the South in Greenville. 18 minutes to play in the second half. Notre Dame with a 41-35 lead on the 49ers of Charlotte. Let's take you there live and join Kevin Harlan and John Sunvold.
The 9th-seeded Charlotte 49ers, 8th-seeded Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. We were tied at halftime. We've had 6 ties in the game, but Notre Dame has come out on fire here in the second half. Shot clock at 10. Curtis Nash wiggling inside and a foul.
Again, the value of Nash is the ability at 6'6" to put it on the floor and create.
Notre Dame out of the Big East and Charlotte out of Conference USA. 2 evenly matched teams, both in the tournament a season ago. And John, both like to do things outside if they can, but we have not seen all that much of that from Charlotte. Notre Dame, on the other hand, has hit 6 3-point shots in this game.
Well, both teams like to push. They like to find openings for their good shooters, because both teams have. But I think the key so far in this ball game, defensively, both teams have gotten back, and they've gotten set defensively and made it difficult on these offensive players to get shots off. Joby Thomas goes to the sideline, 1 of 8 from the field tonight.
Nash again at the stripe. Charlotte from the line tonight, 5 of 8. Notre Dame, 5 of 5.
Thomas must keep plenty of fluids in his body. We talked about him being sick this afternoon. He had an IV earlier this afternoon.
Here's Chris Thomas, the exciting freshman from Indianapolis, and a rebound by Swanigan inside. Belted, fell, and fouled. That goes on Jermaine Williams, and the 3rd tag down him.
I like the aggressive thought, though, by Chris Thomas, trying to get his offensive game going in the second half. That will open things up for his teammates. Good rebound by Swanigan.
Chris Thomas missing. Swanigan couldn't get it. Oh, and Thomas went right into Swanigan, and Thomas is down for Notre Dame.
Back up. What a block by him.
Whoa! His second tonight. Basden. He's a freshman inside to Butter Johnson.
Well, Thomas collided heads, I believe. Let's see if he's okay. Mike Bray jumped off that sideline.
Butter Johnson working on Humphrey and flies inside. Rebound by Carroll. Outlet to Chris Thomas. Graves, great fake. Lines up for 2 and buries it.
Good patience by a guy who can shoot it. You show the ball, defense has to react.
6-point lead for Notre Dame equals their biggest tonight. Johnson. Curtis Nash. Good screen. Johnson for Brown. He buries a 3 at the other end.
A big answer from the point guard for Charlotte.
Brown is 1 of 5. Tough play. Graves again, picked up by Nash. Carroll, who has been one of the great stories of this game. What a stroke. 6 of 9, John. 15 points tonight. Now the pace picking up as Cam Stevens fans. Rebound by Chris Thomas. Humphrey down the lane. And a Charlotte foul.
And again, Big Ryan, the key to his success is he sprints down the floor, establishes that low post position. Cam Stevens worked him up a little bit, so he wasn't that deep. Picks up his 2nd personal foul. But once Humphreys gets it and turns a corner, instead of allowing the basket, they'll make him shoot free throws.
So Notre Dame's lead over Charlotte is now 45-40. Plenty of time remaining in the second half of that game. One other game to tell you about in Albuquerque. Gonzaga leads Wyoming by a score of 43-40. 15.5 to play in the second half. Watch Wyoming's Dante Richardson pull up for the 3 and give the Cowboys an early 3-point lead.
It stayed at 3 points after Josh Davis gets along the baseline, scores it, and draws the foul. But then Dan Dickow, he scores a lot, but he also can find people. Nice no-look pass here to Corey Violette for the throwdown. Gonzaga was up 2.
And Gonzaga's game is going well, and they hit the 3. Kyle Bankhead knocks that one down from long range, and right now the Bulldogs lead it by 3 with 15:35 to play in the second half. We remind you, another round of games coming your way this evening. In the South, top seed Duke plays Winthrop. UC Santa Barbara and Arizona are playing in the West. Midwest and Western Kentucky will meet Stanford, and in the South, number 12, Utah against number 5, Indiana. Thanks for joining us on Singular at the Half. We'll send you back to St. Louis for the second half of Kansas and Holy Cross right after this.
CBS Sports presents Singular at the Half, sponsored by Singular, the wireless company that supports self-expression nationwide.
Can you find the sports car in the newest Mazda?
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Ha. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
The new 200 horsepower Mazda MPV.
Zoom.
Body of a minivan. Soul of a sports car.
It's just a tremendous opportunity to be involved with the game at this level. And it's such a fantastic thing to go out there and do something you really enjoy doing. You're looking at so many things on the court, and so many things are happening. When you have 10 players and each one are doing so many different things on the court, rebounding, getting in position, you may not even see totally how the play developed and who did it. You just see the end result of it, and it's like, wow.
Creating change through a commitment to the total growth and development of the student athlete, teaching the tools for success in life, developing individuals with the knowledge to effectively communicate and affect change on campus and in the community, giving student athletes the opportunity to become passionate, engaged, service-oriented leaders. The NCAA Foundation Leadership Conference, educating future leaders for a lifetime of success.
Growing up, all we wanted to do was play. But as the world opened up to us, it became easier to get sidetracked. And just one single bet, one simple step can blow not only your education, but a chance to compete in the sport that we love.
They watch from the stands while their money changes hands.
The only thing worth betting on is ourselves.
Don't cross that line.
Tiger Woods pursues a third green jacket and back-to-back wins at Augusta National. A tradition unlike any other, the Masters on CBS. It would be the ultimate upset, the 16th seed against the number 1 seed, and Holy Cross 37-35. Kansas coach Roy Williams, in disbelief, takes off the ring, takes off the watch, says they're not going to get this from me, and he has to be hoping they won't take the game as well. We'll return to St. Louis after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship.
Who you are. Everybody's got a little diet doing them. Yeah! Nice shot. Do the diet do.
Watch Monday's highest rated show, Everybody Loves Raymond, only on CBS.
She called last week. Margaret from National City. She'd noticed that I could earn more interest by transferring my savings account into a National City indexed investment account. Now, she didn't have to make that call. But I guess it's people like Margaret who make National City so different. Instead of seeing me like this, they see me for who I really am. I'm Pam Davis, and my bank is National City.
We already know that kids don't like Bob Coleman. Did you also know Coleman wants to be Attorney General, but never prosecuted a single criminal case? Coleman, a part-time lawyer, ran an offshore insurance company that went bankrupt, and his company was seized by the state. We can do better with proven prosecutor Joe Burkett. Successful state's attorney, experienced crime fighter, Joe Burkett is endorsed by every Republican state's attorney in Illinois. Oh, kids like him, too.
Now held over by popular demand, the Chrysler Great American Getaway. Your chance to get away with great offers on our award-winning minivans, like our 7-year, 100,000-mile engine and transmission powertrain pledge. plus $2,500 cash allowances. Or 0% financing on select models. GM, Ford, and Toyota don't give you all that. So hurry. For great products, great protection, and great value. That's the Chrysler Advantage.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship is sponsored by Chevy Trucks, Mountain Dew, Microsoft, and by Miller Lite.
A stunning half for underdog Holy Cross, leading #1 seed Kansas 37-35, and compounding the problems for Roy Williams' Jayhawks. Kirk Heinrich, the all Big 12 guard, as he takes that follow-up shot, lands on the foot of Zatko of Holy Cross and pulls up with an ankle injury. How serious? Let's go to Armin Katayan.
Coach, first of all, the status of Kirk Heinrich, how serious is that injury?
I have no idea. I think they took him to get an x-ray, and remember I said think. I don't know. He never came to the locker room, and our trainer never came back either.
And Roy's, the last thing you really want to give at #1 seed is a 16 seed, so this kind of hope at halftime. What did you tell your team?
Well, we've got to start playing. They're getting every loose ball, and they're getting more offensive rebounds, and we're not getting any.
All right, Coach, thank you.
All right, Armin, good job. Ready for the second half as we look at the numbers in the first half. 20 rebounds each team with 12 field goals. The difference, 2 more free throws for Holy Cross. And the offensive rebounding, as pointed out by Roy Williams, no coach likes to see that.
That's an indicator that the other team is out hustling you, not only for the rebounds, but to every loose ball. And of course, Kansas prides themselves on being the best at that.
And the first pass goes through Collison's hands, and on the turnover, here comes Holy Cross. It's Boshi, Collison, Gooden, Langford, and Miles, with Kirk Heinrich getting x-rays on that ankle. Langford takes his spot. Saravalli, Zatko, Lufkin, Meade inside. Zatko back out to Saravalli. Good fake on Boshi. 7 on the shot clock. Saravalli up the lane, and that'll be a charge, and it'll be the 3rd foul on Ryan Saravalli.
And that's the 2nd time Saravalli has gotten himself out of control, charging on the play. Almost what you would call a perfect possession for a team like Holy Cross. Use as much of the shot clock as possible, then get a high percentage shot. Kind of torture Kansas at this point, who has to be really ready to burst out of themselves, trying to get something going here.
Langford, and then the quick touch pass to Collison, and he travels. No basket. So not a good start for the Jayhawks. A couple of errors.
Very quiet first half for both Nick Collison and Drew Gooden. 1 for 4 from the field for Collison. Drew Gooden 2 out of 5. Both, however, did a good job on the backboard, but can't get involved in the scoring area.
The 2 scoring leaders for these teams. Tim Zatko had 6 points. Drew Gooden, the All-America for Kansas, 6 points. Underneath to Zatko, and he is blocked by Collison. The battle, and up with it. Holy Cross are getting all the loose balls. Zatko will fire from 3-point range. And he gets it back. Takes it up. Blocked by Collison. And a timeout called as Lufkin recovered the ball. Good defense by Kansas, but 2nd and 3rd chances for Holy Cross. Timeout.
After the all-new Chevy Trailblazer, everything else just seems kind of weak. The 270 horsepower Chevy Trailblazer, like a rock.
Gina? You know, when I was first hired, we didn't have all these fancy integrated systems. Our sales program wasn't even linked with accounting. Warehouse platform in Chicago wasn't linked to anything, not even shipping. Back then, orders took days. Now, they just take hours.
Wow, how long have you been working here?
A couple of months now.
When software quickly connects all your business systems, that's 1 degree of separation. That's business with .NET from Microsoft.
from a blind guy. Well, what are you going to do for an encore there?
I think I may kick some puppies. How's that?
Life is best told over a great-tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
Did you steal that guy's dog, too? Is that whose dog that is?
closer you get, the more extreme it gets. The most extreme V-twins on the planet. VTX from Honda.
Armikatayan back here in St. Louis where Holy Cross leads by 2. The update on Kurt Heinrich. X-rays are negative, but he will not return tonight, Dick. So Kansas will play without their star guard. Back to you.
All right, Armin. Well, that is tough news for Kansas, and who knows, there's no fracture there, but a badly turned ankle can be something that takes more than just a few days to heal.
And Dick, keep in mind, he injured that same ankle last weekend in a semifinal win over Texas Tech, so he probably really didn't have enough time to have it healed the first time.
Brian Wilson misses from the side. Here comes Miles for Kansas. Neither team has scored this far to open the second half, and another turnover committed by the Kansas Jayhawks. 10th of the game.
Kansas is just rushing things right now. They do have to take their time a little bit, make sure they get good catches for Collison and Gooden in their spots.
And Jave Meade drills the three-pointer, and Holy Cross matches its biggest lead of the game, 5 points. First basket for either team here in the second half. You see only 12 field goals and 10 turnovers for Kansas. So uncharacteristic. Gooden can't hit the short jump hook. Good save by Langford. Miles takes it in, and a whistle. Reach-in foul against Holy Cross, and it goes against Brian Wilson, his second.
Well, Holy Cross this whole game, once they settle down after the first 4 or 5 minutes, has moved the ball very well, have been running their offense just as easy as you'd like, and getting a lot of open looks, and they probably missed about 5 or 6 if they feel they should have made and would have a real nice lead in this game.
Gooden, a power move, and he has 8 points. It's 40-37 Holy Cross.
Well, with Heinrich out of the picture right now, Drew Gooden has to step up and take more of a leadership role. You've got a freshman at the point guard spot in Miles, also Langford, another young player, but Collison and Gooden have to take charge.
Holy Cross has really protected possessions. This is Jave Meade, Saravalli, Wilson. Blocked by Collison, and it goes off the foot as that goes as the buzzer rings on the shot clock. Kansas fans trying to spur on their beloved Jayhawks across the way. Boshi to Gooden. And a whistle as Collison had the rebound, and it goes against Kansas. Collison a little too physical in getting position. His third.
Here's a definitive hard move by Drew Gooden. You got to see more of that from him. Of course, Drew Gooden doesn't necessarily always have to have this ball in his hands to be an effective scorer. He can play so well without it in the sense that he's an outstanding offensive rebounder.
Jave Meade, who played high school ball at Christ the King with Omar Cook, who was a sensational freshman at St. John's last year. Meade was the unknown factor, the playmaker. Inside it goes to Work. And Worley, who had 8 in the first half, has his first of the second half. Back to a 5-point advantage, Holy Cross.
Well, this size throughout this game of Werty and Lufkin at times and Zatko have bothered Kansas.
And another turnover. Oh, trouble times for Kansas. 15:46 left in the second half.
Chevy, the cars you can depend on, the cars that last.
I'll be there.
It's about moving forward and not looking back. It's about designing the next generation of lawn tractors that not only cuts your lawn, but cuts it faster. The John Deere SST lawn tractor with spin steer technology. The only one to come with the technology to spin in place just by turning the wheel. The technology is so advanced, it actually cuts time.
As we're making our way up the hill, I can hear gunshots echoing in the distance.
Let's go, soldiers. You will not have a whole lot of time.
Fires, once you had that magazine.
Rocket, contender fortresses, 3.
I'm a little bit nervous because I've never done this before.
Left side is ready. Right side is ready. The middle is ready.
It's all about precision and confidence.
Log on. Watch Michelle hit the mark. Only at GoArmy.com.
Prepare for the Ice Age!
Spectacular, stunning, sophisticated.
Look at that, dinner and a show.
If you love Schleck and Monsters, Inc., don't miss Ice Age.
Stop waving that thing around!
Ice Age, rated PG, tomorrow.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room. More people room. Or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy, it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
He's an ordinary 6-month-old.
Dada.
With one little difference.
Do you prefer Dada? Dad seems more natural to me.
Baby Bob, premiere CBS Monday.
Back in St. Louis at the Edward Jones Dome, Dick Enberg with former All-America St. Joseph, Pennsylvania, Matt Lucas. And Holy Cross, the number 16 seed, leading top-seeded Kansas 42-37, and the Crusaders with the ball. Never happened before. 68 other meetings, 1 versus 16. One won all 68. Jave Meade protecting the ball so well, and that's only the 6th turnover. The steal by Aaron Miles.
And neither team, Dick, is shooting the ball particularly well. The big difference has been in the turnover area.
Collison takes it in deep to make it 42-39. He has 5 points. Again, Kansas playing without their star guard, Kurt Heinrich, all big 12. Injured an ankle, will not return. Saravalli hawked by Boshi outside. Meade with Miles.
So after every stoppage of action, when Kansas comes out after timeout, they try to increase their pressure defensively, but the Cross has been able to handle it.
Nice drive by Meade, but he can't get the shot. Collison rebounds, sets up Miles. He takes a rare shot. And Saravalli tips it to Zatko. Holy Cross' ability to rebound with the bigger, stronger, taller Jayhawks has been part of this story.
And it has given them a reason to believe, and it really started midway through that first half by chasing down a lot of loose rebounds.
And Patrick Worley leads Holy Cross now with a dozen. Leads all scorers with 12. Gooden. Zatko holding his ground. Gooden underneath to Miles, and he connects. Good pass by Drew Gooden. 44-41. The Crusaders lead with 6 minutes gone, second half.
Now with Heinrich on the shelf right now, Kansas has to run their offense through Drew Gooden or Nick Collison. They've got to get a touch every slow time down the floor, at least one of them.
Kicked by Miles to Holy Cross, and we're going to see for the first time Brett Ballard makes his first appearance at guard. As you look at the Midwest brackets, Kansas Holy Cross will meet the winner of Stanford, number 8 against number 9 Western Kentucky to follow. That game features the 2 big 7-foot centers, Marcus and Orchard for Stanford. Holy Cross is out rebounded. Kansas 25-24. Oh, Brett Ballard with a hold away from the ball. Late in the first half, in fact, the final minute, Kurt Heinrich, he gets his own rebound. He scores. Watch the circle as he comes down on another player's foot and twists that ankle. It is not broken, but x-rays being negative don't tell the whole story. It's serious enough that he will definitely not return the rest of this game. He's now back in the locker room. and hopefully be ready should Kansas win for Saturday as they ice that ankle. Jave Mead, Wilson, Gooden almost a steal, and Holy Cross retains possession with 13 seconds on the shot clock.
Not only is Kirk Heinrich the emotional leader and the inspiration for this Kansas team, he was the lone Jayhawk in the closing minutes of that first half who was able to get anything going offensively. Wasn't able to knock down any outside jump shots, but was starting to take the ball to the basket and be very effective, scoring 9 points.
And they certainly miss his presence on the defensive end. He may be as tough a defensive guard as there is in the country. No foul on Gooden off the fake by Zatko, and the fans don't like that. 3-point game. Collison, Gooden with the follow, and Drew Gooden cuts the lead to 1. 10 points for him. Kansas fans on their feet.
Ballard in there now trying to take the Heinrich ball of at least putting pressure on the backcourt.
But Jave Mead slips inside for the scooper. He now has 9. Gooden and the foul to Worley, and the fans are saying, hey, that's what happened at the other end. You didn't blow the whistle.
Take a look at this with Tim Zatko actually going straight up. He is entitled to that space, and this is what Drew Gooden does so well, playing off the ball, getting to the offensive board. And then Ballard unable to maintain that pressure on Jave Mead, as Mead just wore him down, took him to the basket. All they were looking for was just a couple of minutes of energy from Ballard.
Boshi back in. 46-43 Holy Cross. 12.5 to go. And Gooden making that strong move and fouled before he got there. Since '95, Kansas seeded #1 4 times. The 3 previous times unable to advance beyond the Sweet 16. And that '97 loss to Arizona, particularly painful, Roy Williams said, to use the word devastated, when they were unable to advance with a team that was just loaded with great stars.
And the pain continues, Dick, as this edition of the Kansas Jayhawks has to continually answer questions about what happened in the past.
Pass too tall for Collison. Another turnover. Guillermo Sanchez with the ball. The walk-on now giving significant minutes to his team. Zatko hawked by Gooden. Needs some help. Where is it? And timeout just before the 5-second count. Just under 12 minutes to go. Holy Cross 46, Kansas 43.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? For more cargo room, more people room, or more headroom. Enterprise. So easy it's like having a second car. Or third.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Training Day. Buy it Tuesday on video and DVD. The Detective.
Today's a training day, Officer Hoyt.
The Rookie.
I will do anything you want me to do.
Let the training begin. Academy Award nominees Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke. Training Day. Buy it Tuesday on video and DVD.
Well, there have been the usual surprises in the first round around the country. Number 12 seed Missouri knocks out Miami. Number 5 Kent State repeats their victory of a year ago when they eliminated Indiana in the first round. They take out Oklahoma State, and Tulsa in a marvelous game earlier here in St. Louis, down to the final shot, able to prevail against Marquette. Holy Cross fans believing in this Crusader team that started the season 8-12, and then when Quirty returned to the lineup, went 10-2 down the stretch. Pass inside, but intercepted by Collison.
Well, the first step is the belief, and I think Holy Cross, at least throughout sections of this game, have started to believe. The hard part is finishing off the job.
Gooden unable to hit the short bank shot. Rebound, Zatko, and here's Saravalli. Interesting young man, this Ryan Saravalli. He's the only scholarship senior on this Holy Cross team, so the future looks very bright for the Crusaders. No foul as Langford blocks the shot attempt to Brian Wilson, and we have a timeout. with 11:09 left in the second half. And Holy Cross still in front by 3.
If you're going to do it right. That's brilliant.
The Masters on CBS.
One way. All the way. London, Paris, Frankfurt, Germany, Shanghai, Beijing, Hong Kong. Completely around the world. Get off, do what you want to do, get back on board, and continue. You should come along with us and see. My name is Lester Latham. I'm a Boeing 747-400 pilot for United Airlines.
This is Silverado Heavy Duty. Available with the new Duramax diesel. The most powerful diesel you can get in a pickup. Silverado Heavy Duty. More truck from Chevy.
Thinking about trying Viagra? It's now available from your doctor in a free 6-pill sample pack.
6? That's my number.
So get in the driver's seat and ask about the free Viagra sample pack.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
For more information, race over to Viagra.com.
From oil changes to brakes to tune-ups, customers feel confident knowing Midas Total Car Care has their car running in top shape.
She's running great. Let's jump the bridge.
But where do you go? You go. What are you going to do? Total Car Care. Midas, we do that.
Ryan Saravalli, the only senior, started as a freshman. He's from just across the border in Canada near Niagara Falls. His dad, Lenny, when he was in high school, he couldn't find the dad. He went on the grass. He had fallen awkwardly and is paralyzed from the waist down and unable to be here to cheer on his son. Lenny, the father, mom, Marcella, both born in Italy, and Saravalli, a delightful young man who's playing his heart out, as is his young Holy Cross team. He's the only senior, and on cue he fires, but off the line. Langford rebounds. Here comes Kansas, trailing by 3 with less than 11 to go. Here in St. Louis, pressure on the #1 seed Kansas Jayhawks, and that's Langford inside to tip in the missed shot and a foul. And that pulls the Jayhawks within 1 of underdog Holy Cross, 46-45.
Well, the little Ryan Saravalli going to try to box out Langford here, unable to do it. Basically winds up undercutting him, going underneath his legs as Langford able to tip that ball in.
And a big foul it is, because that's #4 on Saravalli. He's taken out by Coach Ralph Willard. And back in is Jave Mead after a brief rest. Langford to tie. And the freshman gets Kansas even with 10 minutes and 46 seconds remaining in the second half.
Very important now for Holy Cross to keep their composure, keep the same mindset, take care of the basketball, move it, get their good shots, make sure you're back on defense and don't give up anything easy there, and continue to do a good job on the board.
But a near steal by Aaron Miles. That was close for Holy Cross. Wayne Simeon, big freshman, in for Kansas. As you see, 7 ties, 7 lead changes. Kansas' biggest lead was 7. Tim Zatko, the leading scorer for the Crusaders. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Sanchez, tough shot. And it comes out to Gooden. Kansas with a chance for the lead. They have not been in front here in the second half. Miles, Langford, and Simeon, 3 freshmen on the floor for the #1 seed Jayhawks. Along with Boshi and the All-America Gooden. He's got the ball. Good pass to Simeon. And Wayne Simeon from Leavenworth, Kansas has a half dozen. Kansas enjoys a 2-point lead.
Yeah, we can see that one coming a mile away. Simeon wanting the ball on the block. Good defense there by Drew Gooden, flashing hard up to that high post area. A little high-low action. They executed beautifully.
Zacko, a little too strong. Battle on the boards, and Zacko gets it back, rips it away, and he's fouled. Boy. Tenaciously fighting on the boards, this Holy Cross team.
Take a look at Drew Gooden flashing up to that open area. He draws the attention of the defense, and he just, any way he wants to, can deliver the ball inside to Wayne Simeon. Zacko having a very difficult game. He's their best player, averaging 14 points, 7 rebounds a game, doing a good job on the boards, but just 2 for 14 from the field.
And he misses the free throw. The foul was on Gooden, his second. Gooden will be given a breather as Collison returns for Kansas. Oh, another upset. University of North Carolina, Wilmington up by 19 against Southern California. Collison, as Zacko misses both free throws, could be critical. Kansas by 2, and they throw it away. Official dumped into the photographer's row. Roy Williams with both hands up said, please slow it down.
I thought he was going to come out and tackle that time. Absolutely no excuse for that pass at that point.
Again, Ralph Willard's concerned starting the second half, playing but 7 men. Would Kansas wear down his Holy Cross team? They look a little tired now. Pressure continues defensively. Down to 9 on the shot clock. Meade back out to Zacko, and he's fouled as there's just 2 seconds left on the shot clock, and Collison now has 4 fouls. A reminder, near the conclusion of every NCAA tournament game, we select a Chevrolet MVP of the game from each team. To date, Chevrolet has contributed approximately $8 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities.
And the junior from Naperville, Illinois, has been begging. Tim Zacko has been begging for this kind of a call on a number of occasions. Not necessarily jumping into his defender, but drawing some contact.
Kirk Heinrich on crutches with that sprained ankle will not return. And, of course, if Kansas wins, could be a concern for the Saturday game against either Western Kentucky or Stanford, as Zacko looks for his 8th point and another tie.
I'm going to say that he released that shot behind the arc.
So a 3-point attempt.
He jumped in, yeah. A lot of action going on there. He clearly that time jumped into the defender.
Collison out with 4 fouls, rested by Roy Williams. And Zacko with 9 now makes the 3 free shots, and Holy Cross reclaims the lead. Boshi for 3. Oh, sweet Boshi, 11 for him. 51-49 Kansas, as they exchange leads with 8.5 to go.
One of the good things for Holy Cross in this second half, when they have turned the ball over or missed a shot, Kansas has been unable to get good runouts.
Miles with a foul. That'll be a 2-shot attempt.
Jeff Bochi vying to be the all-time leader in 3-point shooting makes and takes. Going right down to the wire in this season, will always be hanging around that 3-point line.
He's taken 200 3-point attempts coming into this game, made 93. He's 3 for 4 today, critical to keep the Jayhawks close, and now 2 shots to tie for Brian Wilson. And Wilson, a cool customer at the line, the best free throw shooter for Holy Cross, 81.5%.
Mentioned before, Jave Meade, a teammate of Omar Cook in high school. Brian Wilson was a teammate of Duke's Jason Williams up in Plainfield, New Jersey.
How about that backcourt for St. Joe's? Misses the second, so Kansas still leads by 1 at 51-50. The #1 scoring team in the nation, averaging 92, but held in check by this Holy Cross team. Sanchez out on Boshi. Gooden. And Wordy, good. Solid move by the All-America, and he's fouled.
Yeah, Patrick Wordy forcing him the wrong way unless he's supposed to send him middle for some help. Drew Gooden just too strong going to that right hand. We've seen him do it a number of times tonight and be able to finish. Nobody's stepping in to help out, as Drew Gooden is taking the little bump and strong enough to finish.
And that'll take Wordy out of the game for Holy Cross with his 4th foul. 13th point for Drew Gooden. He completes the 3-point play. And #1 Kansas here in the Midwest now leads by 4.
Thanks.
Michelob Light.
There you go, baby. The great taste of Michelob Light makes any occasion seem special.
Listen up. We brought in a very special consultant to help us with our fundamentals.
This is a triangle.
Triangle.
What's this?
Triangle.
What's this?
Triangle.
What's this?
The bill.
What'd that cost?
$4 million.
And he's not going to stick around to see if it works?
In 1935, Foxwood Farms started with 1 horse and a truck. The horse was a thoroughbred, the truck a Chevy Suburban. Today, they have a few more horses, but there's still only 1 truck, Chevy Suburban. With an available 8.1-liter Vortec engine, it's capable of towing up to 6 tons, making it the best Suburban yet. Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
Hey, Ray, look at this. Wall-to-wall entertainment.
You want entertainment, pal? I'll give you entertainment.
Look, Carl, I'm a maniac! Maniac! No argument here.
Let's see their entertainment do this.
Whoa, Ray, I don't want to see anything do that.
At Blockbuster, the hottest new releases are guaranteed on DVD, so you'll always find the entertainment you want.
That's it, Carl. Shake what your mama gave you.
Make it a Blockbuster night.
There's always a clue. Can you find it?
TV's most watched show, CSI, returns March 28th.
Holy Cross led by as much as 5 in the first half and in the second half. You can see the numbers creeping up for Kansas. One of the top shooting teams in the nation, up to 47% from the floor despite the 13 turnovers. Querty with 4 fouls out, currently with 12 points, and Gooden leads Kansas with 13. And on the bench, Kirk Heinrich, his left ankle bandage. Roy Williams saying, hurry up and get well. We may need you in a hurry. But that seriously wrapped.
I saw that 34% for Holy Cross. They do not shoot the ball particularly well anyway, a little better than 40% on the year. On the other hand, they don't see Kansas-type defense every time out.
And Ralph Wilbert can't wait much longer. Ryan Saravalli's going to come in next time out. And he turns it over, trying to thread the pass. Brian Wilson, that's the 8th turnover for Holy Cross. Ryan Saravalli does return, and Sanchez is the man he replaces.
Dick, I think the lack of turnovers, the biggest reason why Holy Cross has been able to not only lead and stay in this game, and also even a turnover like that, it doesn't result in a fast break, quick strike going the other way.
Langford and Miles, 2 freshmen on the floor, along with Simeon, 23 in the hole. Langford takes it in. No basket and a foul. Langford from Fort Worth, Texas, averaging 7.5 a game. As you see other scores, Wyoming and Gonzaga, a 1-point game, and the Cowboys in front with 2.5 to go. Foul here, Jave Meade, his 3rd. And that is a shocker. UNC Wilmington over the 4th seed USC by a dozen, 7.5 minutes to go. That defense of the Trojans, however, can turn it around in a hurry.
Nick, you see Kansas now with 3 freshmen out on the floor. Now, that's not all that unusual throughout the course of the year. They're very talented, Miles, Langford, and Simeon. But normally, when you throw a Kirk Heinrich into the mix, it's a little bit different because you have a settling influence. Without him right now, these freshmen really have to grow up quickly.
Langford hits them both, has 7 points in the game. Werde returns for Holy Cross. Kansas shooting 57% here in the second half. So 2 men on the floor for the men in purple with 4 fouls, Werde and Saravalli.
Kansas giving him a different look defensively, going to his zone defense. Something that Holy Cross has not seen much of tonight.
Basket is allowed and a foul is battling inside. Was the leading scorer for the Crusaders, Tim Zacko. Fans thought there was a travel.
Well, watch on the catch here. It looks like there's a mishandle of the ball. It doesn't look like a Kansas player touched it. There's the touch as the ball is forced into the basket. But on the first release by Zacko, nobody touched it.
Another missed free throw. 56-52 Kansas. 6 minutes, 38 seconds to go. Simeon over Werde, and the foul from behind on Brian Wilson with a shove. His 4th. So now 3 men on the court for Holy Cross, playing with 4 fouls.
Well, Kansas doing what very good teams do when they can't make shots, things aren't going their way offensively, is basically make sure you get up a reasonably good shot and chase the boards.
Number 2 team in the country, Kansas Jayhawks, the number 1 seed here in the Midwest. Langford misses the front end of 1-1, but Simeon gets it back and then loses it out of bounds. So Holy Cross hopes are still high. Kirk Heinrich reduced to the role of a cheerleader, and Ralph Willard's team at 56-52 down, but plenty of time, 6 minutes plus. But handicapped, 3 men, 3 starters with 4 fouls. One of them, Ryan Saravalli, another Werde, Saravalli, and the other Wilson, who fires the 3 and hits it, and it's 56-55. 6 to go.
Holy Cross taking advantage of his own defense. Those corners will open up. Some good looks.
Oh, Gooden finds Simeon wide open underneath. Pretty pass from Drew Gooden. 8 now for Simeon. He's going to be a star. 5:40 to go. Jave Meade, no whistle. Zacko misses 2 in close, and Simeon with the rebound. Miles gets the offense going to Boshi. Takes it all away and sets up Gooden. And that has the Jayhawks on their feet across the way. Timeout. Boshi sets it up with a penetration. 5:20 left. 5-point Kansas lead.
Get your hands up! Get your hands up! Go, 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 go! Thank you, Detroit! We love you!
Detroit was last night. Want to get away? Now you can. Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 when you purchase by March 18th.
You are now free to move about the country.
Welcome back. CBS Sportsline stat of the game. Points in the paint, and Kansas plus 14, that figured, as the Jayhawks have opened up a 5-point lead. Get complete tournament coverage at cbs.sportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline.
Get the feeling the Holy Cross Crusaders may be saying to themselves the last couple of minutes, what am I doing here in a ball game here with the number 1 seed, Kansas Jayhawks, with an opportunity to win it. So important to stay with their game right now, keep their poise, and when they get those open layups, they must make them.
Zacko had 2 golden chances last time down, but too hard off the glass. Saravalli with Boshi on him defensively. Jave Meade deflected, but recovered by Saravalli. 5 on the shot clock. Hits the front of the rim. New shot clock, and last touch by the leg of Jave Meade. Kansas goes the other way.
Now, Drew Gooden's got it going right now. Whether he catches in and around the basket or catches out on the wing, something generally good happens for Kansas.
You'd figure they'd get him down inside again, squirting with 4 fouls. Miles pulls up for a 16-footer. And the rebound, Brian Wilson, the 6'2 guard from Plainfield, New Jersey. 4.5. Clock ticking. Kansas by 5. Holy Cross looking for a big basket here. Wilson. And that'll be a goaltend on Simeon. Count the basket for Brian Wilson. He has 13.
There's Wayne Simeon going up, ball on the way down. Easy call for the officials, just a tad too late for Simeon. He had to call all the way, no question.
Easy. Gooden, nice pass to Simeon. And what's the call, foul or a held ball? I think it's a foul, and if it is, Brian Wilson has just been disqualified. That would be his 5th. That's it for Brian Wilson. He leaves the game as the scoring leader for the Crusaders with 13 plus 4 rebounds. And with a bench that is thin, he's got some talent there, Ralph Willard. He said, but they're all freshmen, and trying to go with his experience here against powerful Kansas.
Brian Wilson hearing it from the crowd behind the Holy Cross bench. Solid performance for the junior.
Figures that Guillermo Sanchez will replace him, and that's the case. So Wilson leaves with 13. Like all of his teammates, he just couldn't play any harder. At the line, Wayne Simeon, just a freshman. Look at the physique on this kid. 6'9" and 250. Understandably, his favorite player is Carl Monroe. Misses the front end, and Gooden just narrowly missed the tip. Holy Cross still in it, down by only 3 with less than 4 minutes left. Meade pulls up for the 15-footer and rattles out. Gooden with a rebound. Drew Gooden with 11 rebounds, another double-double for him. Boy, look how easily he handles the ball. Meade with a rebound.
Actually, it looked that time like Drew Gooden wanted to go inside to Simeon, and then just got put up a half-hearted effort there. If you're not going to take it strong, pull it back out and run a set play and try to wear down the Crusaders inside.
Kansas 60. Holy Cross, the 16th seed, 57. 3 and change remaining here in St. Louis. Saravalli pulls it up, can't hit. Boshi with a rebound for Kansas. 3 minutes left. And Roy Williams wants a 30.
Greg Gumbel in New York. Final moments of the Wyoming Gonzaga game. Let's listen in Albuquerque.
With 16.4 left. And Wyoming gets it back. Davis inbounding on the baseline. Looking. Corner. He's fouled with 14.6 to go. And a 5-point Wyoming lead.
And they're sending an 81% free throw shooter to the line. Great patience by Wyoming on offense, and here's Bailey coming down the lane with that dribble penetration. The ball hits every part of the rim and drops home.
13 points for Bailey. And Corner can ice it right here. Wyoming has made their last 10 free throws down the stretch.
Wyoming on the verge of its first victory since 1987 when it reached the Sweet 16 just moments away. Let's send you back to the game that you were watching.
Boshi with a shot, and the foul is against Holy Cross. Over the back as the Jayhawks, after struggling throughout against this determined underdog from Holy Cross, now lead by 3 with 2 minutes 35 seconds left. And to the line goes All-America Drew Gooden.
Drew Gooden just has that knack and the work ethic and a sense of going to the offensive boards, knows when the shot's going up, gets good position, so hard to keep him off.
Leading the Jayhawks in scoring and rebounding as he has throughout the year. That's his 16th point. The 12 rebounds. There's the brackets. Stanford, Western Kentucky, and the final 4th game here in St. Louis today, and the winner will meet the winner of this game. You saw that Brian Wilson of Holy Cross leads the Crusaders with 13 points, but he has fouled out. And a timeout as Collison gives Kansas its biggest lead of the second half, 62-57.
Hold the pickles, hold the lettuce. Special orders now, you know they don't upset us. You can have it, you got it. We can serve your flame from Whopper, fresh with lettuce.
I gotta get a Whopper.
You got it.
All right.
I need 3,300 gallons of gasoline.
I need an ultrasound machine.
There are nearly 25 million small businesses in the U.S.
I need 70 more rolls of paper.
And all of them have one thing in common. They need things.
I need 480 tons of plaster.
We need to ship 3,000 pounds of monkfish.
Things to keep them going.
We need to get 6 tickets to Tokyo.
And growing.
I need 10 more computers.
That's why we created the Business Purchase Account from Open, the Small Business Network. It combines the power to make large purchases with the flexibility to pay in installments. So you can get what your business needs when you need it.
Not next week.
Not tomorrow. Now.
Without worrying about credit limits or loan approvals. Apply for your Business Purchase Account. There's no fee the first year. Call 1-800-NOW-OPEN.
I need a better way to buy what I need.
The Business Purchase Account from Open, the Small Business Network. One of the new tools for a small business economy from American Express.
Cars you can depend on. Cars that last. Chevy will be there.
Dick Enberg, Matt Gokas in St. Louis. A 5-point lead for the #1 seed Kansas against the 16th seed Holy Cross Crusaders, who have led much of this game, but succumbing to the superior power of the Jayhawks as Coach Rock Willard's team. Already a starter has fouled out. Brian Wilson, 2 other men on the court with 4 fouls. But 2.5 minutes to pull a miracle win.
And for the last 5 or 6 minutes, Kansas has been going to this zone defense, not respecting the three-point capability at all of Holy Cross, especially since Brian Wilson has fouled out. He knocked in 1 before he left.
Zapko, leading scorer for Holy Cross, to Saravalli, rattles in and out, and the rebound by Langford of Kansas. Holy Cross again quick to stop the transition game of the Jayhawks, who have averaged 92 points a game, only 62 tonight, and 2 minutes remain. Heinrich, their outstanding guard, on the sideline with a sprained ankle. Collison gets it back, and then it's intercepted by Sanchez. He sets off Saravalli. Langford to beat. Oh, what a block by Langford. And Willard screaming for a foul, and the fans agree. And another steal, and then Saravalli to Meade. Back to Saravalli for 3. Is short. And Gooden up with a loose ball. 2 great chances for Holy Cross.
Wow, up and down action, and Nick Collison just having a devil of a time trying to complete a pass. Ryan Saravalli in the midst of everything, just can't get it down.
Fans rooting for the underdog Holy Cross, still hooting at the no call on those last two possessions by Holy Cross. We're down to the 1 minute mark. Kansas by 5. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Miles gets it up in time and hits it. Aaron Miles, the freshman, with his 7th point, and Cooley hits the jumper. And timeout, Holy Cross. Kansas fans finally believing they're going to advance.
Change the face of digital photography. With the Intel Pentium 4 processor, the center of your digital world.
Cars you can depend on. Cars that last. Chevy will be there.
Well, senior Ryan Saravalli probably playing his last game as a collegiate, trying to draw a foul here. An outstanding defensive play by Keith Langford. Crowd didn't like it, but you could see a clean one. And then Aaron Miles using every bit of that shot clock. It's been a relatively quiet night for him, but teammate Kirk Heinrich unable to go with that bad ankle, appreciating every last second of that crucial field goal by freshman Aaron Miles.
And you could just feel the collective relief from the Kansas Jayhawk fans when Miles hit that one for the first time in the entire game. They can sit back and really believe they're going to win. This Holy Cross club has just terrorized them in this 40 minutes. Down to 49 seconds. A must possession for Holy Cross. Jave Meade. Good defense by Kansas. Meade underneath, and the basket by Zatko. 64-59, 35 seconds. Miles shreds the pass, and Langford fouled from behind by Sanchez. Roy Williams wants the intentional foul, won't get it.
You know, Holy Cross can't really be waiting around that long. I'm sure they would like to wait till the poor free throw shooter Nick Collison gets his hands on it, but they've got to try to elongate this game as much as possible, force Kansas to make free throws.
And with just under 29 seconds left, the double bonus in effect for Kansas as Langford looks for his 8th point. (16 for 20), Kansas from the line.
You know, the #1 question that the Kansas players and Roy Williams and the staff are going to have to listen to after this game is, did you take the number 16 seed too lightly?
And a timeout with 28.9 seconds left, and the Jayhawks leading by 7.
Oh, yes! Yes!
Want happy employees? Help secure their financial futures. At the Principal Financial Group, that's what we do. The Principal is the 401k leader, financial solutions for you and growing businesses. The Principal Financial Group, we understand what you're working for.
Back in St. Louis, and here are the final games of our quadruple header. What a Herculean effort by all the gang at CBS. To all the technicians, our production crew, jobs well done, but 1 to go. And we're going to see Duke against Winthrop. Many of you watching now, UC Santa Barbara, Arizona. And we'll have the delight of watching Western Kentucky, an 18-game winning streak against Stanford, the #8 seed, here in St. Louis. 66-59, a terrific battle by outmanned underdog, but certainly not outfought Holy Cross's Crusaders. And Kansas now will have to deal with the injury Kirk Heinrich. How well will he be for Saturday should they win? And the steal by Boshi, and that should wrap it up. He's fouled immediately. Kirk Heinrich, one of the many outstanding players on this Kansas team. He had 9 points in the first half and 4 rebounds, but it was on a rebound of his own missed shot, and then he hits this shot on the rebound, and as he comes down, lands on the foot of Tim Zatko and turns that ankle very sharply. It is not broken, but as you can see, heavily wrapped across the way. He's on crutches, and it is that serious.
Well, Dick, you just never know the severity with the ankle, although what exacerbates the problem is the fact that he just sprained it less than a week ago, and that is definitely cause for concern. And certainly Kirk Heinrich, just a major piece for this #1 ranked Kansas Jayhawk ball club.
Boshi with 2 more free throws, and now Academic as it's down to 13 seconds. Long try by Zatko, not there. Boshi with a rebound, and he can dribble it out. Gooden says, I'll end it that way. Drew Gooden, and the score certainly will not indicate how difficult a test this was for Kansas. And the fans are booing because Gooden just didn't pull up and run out the clock. 1.5 seconds a show, and Holy Cross will put it in play, and then it'll be official. There it is. Final score. The #1 seed moves on 70-59, led by the All-America Drew Gooden, a Chevrolet player of the game with 19 points. A look at the bracket. Kansas wins by 11. But what a fight it was. They'll play either Stanford or Western Kentucky. Brian Wilson, our Chevrolet most valuable player for Holy Cross, 13 points, 4 rebounds before he fouled out. Drew Gooden with 19 points. Give him 2 more than that graphic showed. We'll take this commercial break and then to New York and Greg Gumbel.
At Midas, all we think about is auto care. In fact, recently, I had an idea for a kids show, a way to get kids excited about our business. Wave hello to Mr. AC! Hi, Mr. AC! Mr. AC is very cold. The compressor pressurizes the... We're still tweaking it.
Midas, we do that.
Dear sir, thank you for changing my son's life. He has said that if he makes it through basic training, he'll never be afraid of anything. In my proudest moment, I will watch my son march across that field with his head held high. Thank you for bringing out the best in my child.
Graduation is just the beginning. Log on only at GoArmy.com.
Armor All Protectant Wipes. Armor All Shine and Protection in a wipe.
You wanted to see me?
Did you cook my steak?
Yeah.
You are
Awesome!
For a great steak,
Would you sign my belly?
head to Applebee's Steak Stampede. Eating good in the neighborhood.
We are not yet finished dancing this first night of the tournament. Top seed Duke still to take on Winthrop in the South, tipping shortly at 9:57 Eastern. In the West, Arizona and UC Santa Barbara will tip at 10:09. In the Midwest, Western Kentucky and Stanford at 10:19, and Utah and Indiana will tip out in Sacramento at about 25 after 10. One game going on right now. UNC Wilmington's lead over USC is down to 3 in the South. Let's take you out there to Sacramento and join Ian Eagle and Jim Spinarco.
78-75, North Carolina Wilmington leading USC late second half.
Game.
78-75, Seahawks leading the Trojans, the 13 seed in the South taking on the number 4 seed. USC went to the Elite 8 last year. Jerry Wainwright
A three-point game, 1:41 left. Henry Bibby has seen his team make up a lot of ground here in the second half. Seahawks led it by as many as 19. And right now, Callahan at the free throw line. He missed on the first. And a friendly rim on the second. That puts an end to a 10-0 USC run. And UNC Wilmington leads it by 4.
Well, for 34 minutes of this basketball game, the Seahawks pretty much dominated the tempo, the flow of this basketball game. All of a sudden, with about 6 minutes left, the Trojans started to reappear at the defensive end. Their offense, their free throw shooting, they definitely have the momentum coming down the stretch here.
Hutchinson is checked in for USC. Clancy, high man with 20 points on a kick-out. Blumenthal, a pump fake. Shot clock is down to 12. Granville looking to turn the corner. Granville in some trouble. Jump ball! Possession arrow favors the Seahawks. With 1:13 to play, North Carolina Wilmington has a 4-point lead and the ball.
Well, Bibby's squad thinking they could get one going towards the basket just then. Granville getting tied up, though. But still, a lot of possessions left right here in this basketball game.
USC needs a stop. Blizzard darts across the line and now takes his time.
There's a trap coming.
Off the double team, Callahan way outside. Didn't see Granville. And they almost came up with a steal with 1:01 on the clock.
Well, the big guys have to learn to hold on to that basketball. You do not want your big guy, even though he's a pretty good release. Look at from behind, though. He's got to pick up the basketball and wait for the guards to get to a spot where he can make a pass.
23 seconds on the shot clock. Callahan, backcourt hands to Blizzard. 79-75. North Carolina Wilmington with a lead, looking for the upset.
They still have to challenge and still have to attack.
Shot clock at 10, under a minute to go. Blizzard puts it on the floor. Stutter step on a kick out. 5 seconds left to shoot. Near steal, throws it up for a net and an air ball. USC will get the basketball back with 38.1 on the clock. And a timeout taken by the Trojans. 79-75. It's Wilmington with a lead.
Ah, you are the TV cops. You don't think we're real cops?
Freeze, LAPD!
Whenever there's a crime.
Go ahead, make my day.
Whenever there's a camera. Two real cops are ready to act. Critics rave. De Niro and Murphy make a hilarious comic odd couple. Lots of laughs, along with heart-stopping action.
That's great TV.
Showtime, rated PG-13. Starts tomorrow.
Our game reset here in Sacramento, 79-75. North Carolina Wilmington leading USC with only 38 seconds to go.
Well, if you're USC right now, the only thing you want to be thinking about is somehow getting the ball towards the basket and in a hurry. Now, if they close up the Seahawks, if they close up the driving lanes, then I would say kick it back to the perimeter and look for a shot. In this situation, I think it always makes sense to go towards the basket and stop the clock with a fouling attempt.
Granville, the senior, looking to keep his career going. Off the screen. Less than 30 seconds left. Clancy goes to the rim, and he's fouled with 27.5 on the clock. And USC trailing by 4.
Smart play by the Trojans just then. You took a little time off the clock to set your play up. Clancy down the middle of the floor, which is a strong, solid move.
Craig Callahan has been called on his 5th foul. He is done for the night. And what an effort. 21 points, 6 rebounds for the junior from Iowa. And now Sam Clancy will face some pressure. 4 of 8 from the line. On the season, 63%, the Pac-10 Player of the Year. Anthony Terrell will check in to replace Callahan.
You got to start thinking ahead a little bit right now if you're both teams. If Clancy misses or makes these free throws, there's 27.5 left, so fouling opportunities come up for the Trojans, but you want to go for a steal and go for an opportunity. The Seahawks want to keep the ball alive and avoid the fouls.
Wow, Clancy.
Wow, was right. That was a line drive.
Way off on the first attempt. USC went to the Elite Eight last year. Wins over Oklahoma State, Boston College, and Kentucky. A loss to Duke. It was a breakout year for the Trojan basketball team. Right now they are in trouble with 27.5 left. Clancy 1 out of 2 free throws. A 3-point lead.
Well, look at this. Steals after 3. And a foul. Nice substitution by Henry Bibby with his quicker defensive lineup on the floor. Dupree elevates to get a deflection here. Watch this little deflection. Bang. And now look at his reaction. His reaction to go get it. Blizzard looks like he's getting a little ball, but he gets some arm also. Huge, huge play. Not to mention some big free throws.
Second foul on Blizzard. Dupree, 45%. Only a sophomore. First one, no good. He is 0 for 3 tonight from the line. And a timeout taken by North Carolina Wilmington. 79-76, 25.6 on the clock. (79-76), North Carolina Wilmington with the lead. Another free throw coming. The expectation level so high for Henry Bibby's team after what they did in the tournament last year. Now the Seahawks are just looking to hold on. They had a 19-point lead on the number 4 seed in the South here in the second half. Dupree connects on the second free throw. This is a 2-point game.
They still have to go for the gamble steal right now. Somebody's open down deep.
Long one. Clancy gets a hand on it. And out of bounds. And a collision. Clancy and Aaron Coombs.
Oh, and was that ever football-like? Coombs was wide open down low. Figured, let's go for the opening. Look at Clancy close on it, though, and now watch the connection. Oh. Two big guys running into one another.
Now a side out with 24.1. Coombs is forced to the bench.
Same situation here for the Trojans defensively.
Hare will toss it in. The very long Jerry Dupree hindering it. They'll go back court to Burnett.
Got to go for a foul.
And they do.
Good smart foul right there. Not taking much time off the clock.
A quick foul as well.
See, now the concept here, and Jerry Wainwright understands one thing. If his team can go to the line and bury the free throws, the strategy from Henry Bibby down the other end will go for naught. That's what it comes down to now. Getting a guy to step up and knock back some big shots.
It's Tim Burnett, a sophomore from Converse, Texas. First one is good.
Look at that, 66% on the season. Stepped right up to the line.
He can make this a 2-possession game if he can the second free throw. He is 3 of 3 tonight. 22.1 on the clock. Second one, back of the iron, knocked upstairs. Granville's got it. USC with a chance.
They can go quickly. If they go quickly, they can go to the basket. Looks like they're going to try for 3, though.
Granville on the perimeter, circling. Granville penetration, kick out. Craven a 3. 7.9 on the clock, and we are tied at 80. Down to 5 seconds left. Will they get a shot off? 2 seconds. Burnett lets it fly. Off the rim. And we are headed to overtime.
What a lift for the Trojans, and demoralizing at the other side of the floor for the Seahawks. Jerry Wainwright has to regroup. Henry Bibby has to take this ride into overtime and see if he can elevate his squad. A lot of work for Jerry Wainwright to do right now during this break. Great penetration. You got the skip pass. Wide open. Eric Craven with the big-time bury.
The freshman sends this game into an extra session here in Sacramento. 80 apiece. We'll come back in a moment.
Take all the time you want, folks. We'll take this one in red. Beautiful choice, sir. No, black. Black. That's actually my favorite color.
Red. Definitely red.
When software lets you quickly give customers what they want, that's 1 degree of separation. That's business with .NET from Microsoft.
March is the time to turn your home wish list into a wish come true at the Home Depot. Come in now through March 31st and get no payments and no interest if paid by January 2003 on consumer credit card purchases of $299 or more for all your kitchen, appliance, bath, and flooring projects. So bring in your list and get no payments and no interest if paid by January 2003 now at the Home Depot.
Back at Arco, USC 80, North Carolina Wilmington 80, and 5 minutes on the clock. We have got overtime. Action from the South region. A 31-12 run for the Trojans to force the OT over the last 9 minutes and 36 seconds. Wow.
It simply doesn't get any better than this for college basketball.
Clancy controls it for USC. Now remember, Craig Callahan, leading scorer for the Seahawks, fouled out late stages of this game in regulation. Clancy.
Oh, he lost it going up.
Trying to follow it. Clancy. Oh, can't get the flip to go. Spun around and controlled by the Seahawks. And taken back by USC.
Eric Craven just then defensively a factor.
Another deflection. And Granville had it knocked away.
What a 5-second series just then by Clancy on the offensive glass. Could not believe the ball didn't go down for him.
A sequence he would like to have back. Just about a minute gone by in the extra session.
We'll see which team tires now. The Seahawks have come a long way.
Hare, kick out. Williams thought about it. 10 to shoot. Here's Williams making his move on Clancy. Strokes the fadeaway. Off the rim and rebounded by Clancy.
The hesitation probably cost him a little bit. We have some tired legs out on the floor. It's turned into a half-court game, and I'm not so sure it's by design, but just because these kids can't go up and down any faster.
Granville gets rid of it to Craven. The hero in regulation. Driving to the rim. The freshman missed the lay-in.
Well, they have gotten 2 terrific scoring opportunities. Their confidence should be pretty high with the opportunities they've had. Just can't complete.
Jumper. Blizzard. Can't get it to go for 3. And the long rebound to Williams. So UNC Wilmington will get another opportunity on this possession.
I like the shot, though, by Blizzard right there. He looks like he has some legs. Moving pretty good without the ball.
Spin move. Blizzard. He got far more. Gets it through. And a chance for 3.
One guy on the floor who appears to have his legs underneath him. And somehow gets a little bit of a prayer. Watch the ball fake. Freeze. Throw it up. You never know what's going to happen.
Brett Blizzard. He has not been the offensive force tonight that he's been throughout the season for this North Carolina Wilmington team, but they haven't needed him to be. They've spread the scoring around, and he has just completed a 3-point play to give the Seahawks the lead.
What he has proven to me, though, right now is that he's not afraid to step up and try to win this game and take the big shot, because he missed from the wing, but hit a huge shot just then off the glass.
4th foul on Farmer on the play. Under 3 minutes left in overtime. Clancy, hesitation. Inside. Count it for Craven. And a chance to go to the line to complete the 3-point play.
If you don't think hang time means a lot in basketball, then look at Sam Clancy on this play, and he goes up in the air. Watch how long he's up. He's up. He's up. Now I got to pass it in. And thank goodness Craven said, hey, you're up in the air. You're stuck. I better find a spot where you can pass it to me. Great smarts by both of those players.
And the 4th foul on Ed Williams. Both teams walking that fine line with fouls.
This is a great game.
And walking that fine line in scoring. Craven ties this one up at 83.
Backcourt decision so important right now for the Seahawks.
There's the double team. Burnett wants to get rid of it. He does to Hare.
2-on-1.
Here's Williams driving. Williams running one-hander and a foul called. It's Blumenthal, and he's done. 5th personal foul on the senior David Blumenthal. He will leave with 19 points and 7 rebounds.
But one thing I like about the Seahawks in their presence right now is that they've been rattled the last 6 minutes of regulation. But as they cross half court, some teams would be pulling it back and saying, okay, let's get a half court set. Right there, they had a 2-on-1 opportunity, hesitated just a touch, and then bang, and explode into it and try to win the game rather than try to, find a way not to lose.
So Blumenthal is forced to the bench. A timeout has been called with 2:43 to go in overtime. Here's the foul trouble. Callahan has already fouled out. Tim Burnett has not fouled out. Burnett is still in the game. Blumenthal has fouled out for USC.
Who in this building is not in foul trouble is going to be the question here. Every foul puts you in a situation, a dangerous spot, but boy, still a ton of time in this overtime left too. When you look up, 2:43.
There was no timeout call. They had 1 minute, USC, to replace the player that fouled out, Blumenthal. And they've done that with Dupree. At the line. First one, no good. And a chance to break the tie. Ed Williams will get another. He is 5 of 6 now. 13 points. Doesn't get the roll. USC with a chance to go out in front.
And Clancy once again. Blumenthal and Clancy had been a good combo down low. Only Clancy on the floor right now. So let's see if they can find him on the block.
Granville. And a bounce to the baseline. Clancy with 15 to shoot.
If he reestablishes.
Taken away. And who's got it? Seahawk basketball.
That was Carroll who stepped in, I believe, too. Defensively.
2:17 left to go in OT. USC will be forced to go the rest of the way without David Blumenthal. Similar situation for UNC Wilmington. Craig Callahan fouled out in regulation.
A little switch up just then by USC. A half-court trap.
Here's Burnett. Penetration. Burnett. Got it to go.
For the acrobatic move across the lane. They are attacking once they have an advantage.
Tim Burnett with the runner. And it's the Seahawks up by 2 under 2 minutes to play in overtime.
I thought the Seahawks would want to go away after that tough 2 minutes and last 2 minutes of regulation. They came out fighting here.
Dupree gets rid of it. Granville looking inside. Clancy bumping bodies. Turn. Jumper. No good. Knocked upstairs. Dupree controls it. Stripped away by Burnett. Seahawks have to get it across here.
Nobody's down there.
And they throw it away. Anthony Terrell needed help. And Jerry Wainwright's team had a chance to potentially take a 2-possession lead. But they just couldn't get it into the front court.
Yeah, some of the Seahawk players were saying they were looking for a timeout, but I didn't see any of them indicating for it.
Seahawks clinging to a 2-point lead. Trojans came back from 19 down in the second half to force the extra session. We come up on 1 minute to go in OT. Granville will take the jumper. A 3, no. And the rebound taken by Burnett.
Good stay there by Burnett on that long rebound attempt.
This time they handle the pressure with Hare.
Oh, not through traffic, though.
Coming our way.
Whoa.
And the Seahawks will hold on to it. An even 1 minute to play. Hare gets it in, backcourt. Blizzard. 85-83, UNC Wilmington.
Here comes the double. Somebody has to help Blizzard and find the spot.
Cross court.
Middle of the floor has been open.
Hare had a notion. Shot clock at 12. Hare, penetration. Stewart Hare taking it to the goal.
That middle of the floor has been wide open.
87-83, Wilmington. Granville, zigzag. Clancy can't handle it. Out to the corner, Dupree unable to save it. And the Trojans turn it over.
Look at the middle of the floor and look at this challenge against 3 Trojans. Hare finishing it off. Look at the reaction.
Like the hair on my neck is standing up.